Board games is what we're going to play. Board games to enjoy our day. Board games is what we're going to play. Board games to enjoy our day.
I'm getting so good at ending the time with you now,
First ever episode of Tip-Top Tabletop Tuesdays.
Woo!
I've decided that this is now the name of the show. It's Tip-Top Tabletop Tuesdays. I mean, it doesn't matter that we've been doing exactly this thing at 8 p.m. every Tuesday for the past, 4 months or whatever. This is a totally new show. Just, last week was the pilot, and it's like the rebirth, if you know what I mean.
You can tell, by the way, we've recast. There's nobody here you've seen before. It's a completely different lineup.
It's season 2 of that weird incarnation of that show you once watched. Yeah.
The one that didn't get renewed at first and then get picked up by some obscure online provider.
Well, yeah, exactly. It's a reincarnation, you see, and a reimagining. It is the Star Trek Lower Decks of Star Trek.
I don't know how to feel about that reference because I've yet to see an episode, and I don't know whether it's been insulted or
okay,
not.
I will not spoil it for you. I will let you derive your own opinion, but it might make more sense afterwards.
It is lovely to have you with us tonight. Oh, I forgot to put down, we are starting off with How Much Money, which is a party game by Chris Backe. And then we're moving on to Q4U, which is a game by Isaac Shalev, which has been heavily modified by myself. To be fair, all games on this stream have been somewhat modified by me, let's be honest.
Yeah.
But let's go to the introductions. So I am Bez, and I am going to share a link which will, if you click it, ask you to subscribe to my YouTube channel, because I need 39 more YouTube subscribers, and then I get to have a real name. What am I known for? I am known for making games. I'm known for, I guess these days I'm almost more known for streaming things than for making games. And hello, Molly, it's lovely to have you with us.
Sorry,
and,
I'm late.
Something that people might not know about me is that I like to play with the color purple.
No. I knew that.
Sorry.
So.
Do you two have a fight over the color purple? I mean, you both like purple.
The great
I mean, just everything I've ever known about you, Bez, has been red. Why? Why have you decided to defect?
Well, it was purple. I just like the color purple. I mean, I like red. Don't get me wrong. Red's an awesome color. I wear it basically every day. I mean, when I say
I've been round your house. There is red clothes everywhere.
I'm just afraid this is the beginning of a Dear Red letter.
About me. And there's quite a few of us to get through. So let's move round and talk about Chris Backe.
Hello. That's my worst British accent ever, by the way.
Hello,
Hi, guys.
I think it could be worse, but it would be an effort.
Oh, yeah. Well, we have some people that I can learn from on that. No, I am Chris Backe. I am an American board game designer, currently living in Warsaw, Poland. I made the game How Much Money. I helped to make myself lots of board games that are simple to learn, simple to play, and hopefully have some interesting, deep strategies to them. I also help to run the Discord playtesting group, Virtual Playtesting, and if you're curious about that, you can use the Googles. Basically, my wife and I are digital nomads, so we find ourselves traveling a lot. That's why we're here right now. We kind of got stuck behind friendly lines after the borders closed, and we're still here. So,
cool. Wow.
Awesome.
I'm Sate. I live in Leipzig because the Eastern Bloc is cool, and I don't know. I'm nobody in particular, just hanging out.
Oh no.
It's
You're
lovely seeing you,
special.
Odin, who is one half of the Inkwell Games crew that brought you Dice and Ink. And speaking of Leipzig, there are some wonderful people living there, and one of them I know, as Xate.
Other than me.
Well, I assume there are wonderful people in Leipzig, unless you're telling me otherwise.
I mean, maybe one or two.
I know there are about 600,000 people in Leipzig, so I'm going to assume that at least 2 of them are probably tolerable.
Yeah,
Probably. Yeah.
I'd go with that
You're
math.
happy to introduce yourself?
Statistically speaking, yeah.
I'm nobody. I don't do anything. I just hang out and annoy people. So that's me in a nutshell. And I would not have said I liked this game so much if I had known it was from Chris Backe. So I apologize in advance for already saying I wanted to play it and I like it.
See, that's the way that Xate is. As soon as Xate knows who the designer of a game is, Xate decides that they don't like it anymore.
I mean, it's not like I created the worst game of all times like I did Alphabetical. Sorry, Andrew.
Sorry, not sorry. I know you don't like Alphabetical.
We're only getting the claws out. So,
We're supposed to be friends here, right?
I mean,
I'm
it's supposed to be.
Not sure about that with Andrew.
Oh boy.
No, I'm
so
teasing.
Andrew and Xate have
something in common. We're both spare parts that have very little to do with anything else around here, other than the fact we turn up and occasionally dabble in things that have something to do with games originally designed by Bez.
That's a good way to put it. Yeah, I also occasionally dabble in things that have something to do with Bez.
Yeah.
Wait.
We both dabble.
Alan.
Occasionally we dabble together.
Wait, what? No, I'm not okay with that.
Is this not mutual dabbling?
If we move
there will
on
be
to
no
Jason.
co-dabulation.
Okay, so I'm Jason. I will just say, Alan, that sounds like a character from Doctor Who from a recent series, particularly I think it's series 10. So maybe I'm a bit now worried about Xate. If you know the character, you should be. I'm Jason. I'm a composer. I do a bit of experimental stuff. I'm doing a PhD. I'm not exactly quiet about that. It's very few things I can jump around and shout about. So I'm saying I'm a PhD student. I do stuff on chance, indeterminacy, aleatoria. I get to play games and call it work. So are you a composer or I don't know. Anyway, something you wouldn't know about me. Those who know me, they find it very odd that I don't really have chocolate cake as my favourite cake. I prefer lemon cake. Give me chocolate bars, give me chocolate like Maltesers and chocolate ice cream, but I will always go for a lemon cake.
Interesting.
I feel like I stirred something up here with Chris's reaction.
Moving on to the
Cake's not that great.
To the one who is the overseer of highways.
I'm not. I keep telling you, other people oversee them. I have to appeal to the people who oversee them to change them slightly.
So, moving on to the appealer of modifications to highways.
Yeah, something like that. Yes, in my day job, I do things with highways. This is true. And
so you're the highway to the Denison?
Oddly not. I get the reference, but no. Apart from anything else, I very much move them away from the danger zone. If it's in the danger zone, then I've done my job wrong.
Highway from the danger
Highway
zone.
from, yeah.
There
we go.
Yeah. So yes, I have a day job that involves highways and being a consultant and working for myself. And other than that, I am a gamer of various ilks who has something to do with some things to do with Bez. And that's kind of my role here is something to do with something.
Yeah.
I'm occasionally funny, but not.
I
as often as
appreciate
you.
that specificity of that. Of that
Oh, I don't. I
introduction.
try to avoid specificity. Then people expect things of me.
Oh, good. Wait, what?
I liked it. And hello, Alex is also joining us. It's still lovely to see you. And we've got Alan waiting on something from you. I'm not quite sure what,
Humour.
but
Is Alan waiting on something from me? I hope Alan isn't waiting on something from me, because if he is, it's news to me.
I mean, the friendly reminder is always appreciated, I guess. But moving on to
I
our
missed an
Devil of the
email?
Remembrel. Is this
Alan,
Devil
if
of
I've
the
missed an
Remembrel?
email me again, because I'm not aware that you're waiting on something from me. But if you are,
I
then
think he's
apologies.
waiting for the humour. I think it was reference to you and humour.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I
But
mean,
it does
you
feel
know,
like a Neville and the Remembrel a scene, you know. I know I need to remember something, but I can't remember what. Not
that's
quoted,
kind of
paraphrased.
difficult for Alan, to be fair.
Wait, we
But,
haven't heard from Andrew about his fact people don't know.
Oh yeah, in fact, people don't know about Andrew.
oh, I
well,
don't know.
it's just
I don't know
an
what. I don't know
optional
what
thing.
it is you don't know.
Or
You don't
something
you know
that
different
I can
things.
actually
Well-
hear the prompts. So.
Let's move on to Molly, who is
Okay.
the newcomer, who is sometimes tries to take a leap and even fly with their games, which is why you might find them at Flying Leap Games.
There you go. So yeah, as soon as I saw the website, I was like, "Oh man, we gotta make some updates there." No, I'm Molly. Everybody, I'm the co-founder of Flying Leap Games. We make wildly creative party games, and this is one of them. Actually, this is a penguin soaring over a city with a jetpack. So you can find us on Twitter at Penguin Soaring, or other places, Instagram, Facebook, on Flying Leap Games. And actually toured the UK last year, just before and after UK Games Expo, so I was a little sad not to be there this year. And in terms of my fact people wouldn't know, I mean, there are many. Some people might not know that I like to fly on Southwest Airlines in a gorilla suit. That's just something that I enjoy, is flying as a gorilla. I get treated really well by Southwest. And another,
Question.
Are you the only person that does?
as far as I know, I'm the only gorilla flying. That's sort of related to games, because I definitely almost got kicked out of a hotel lobby the first time I wore a gorilla suit in a lobby at a game convention. Or they said I had to take off the head so that I could stay. So I did. And
What does airport security look like for you when you're wearing the gorilla suit?
very interesting, though, for other reasons. Maybe a story for next time.
Okay.
In other,
I'm intrigued.
what?
I'm intrigued.
Yeah, no, I have friends who thought it would be actually a good TV show just called Molly at the Airport, because I have lots of airport security stories. In terms of travels, I've also now traveled to over 240 game stores in person because of my work spreading our games. So that's another new fun one.
I'd be impressed if it was 314.
That is pretty darn impressive.
Thanks, Jason. I'll let you know.
Oh, Odin's also sad to not be at UK Games Expo, but they've never been.
Well, why don't you come? Or is it too far?
Well, this year, there
Well,
wasn't
yeah.
an option. But yeah, Odin's based in America.
You could have come this year.
Last but not least, to the person who might be, if you were to have some sorts of murder mystery party in a house, but not a closed house, more of an open house,
Right.
then you might find Heather.
Hello, everybody. I'm Heather. I own Open House Mystery Parties. That is kind of on the back burner until we get free from the pandemic. And in the meantime, I am heading up lead organizer for Protospiel Online.
Oops. And do you wish to say anything more about yourself?
Oh, something interesting about me. Let's see. The first time that I traveled on an airplane at all, I went overseas to Ecuador and the Galapagos Islands, and I was 16 years old.
Wow.
Nice.
Oh my gosh.
Sounds like an awesome adventure.
It was jumping into the deep end with travel for sure. My parents are afraid of travel, and I am not. So that was the beginning of that.
Okay, so we're going to play How Much Money? How much money? How much money will it take you to do a thing? How much money? How much money?
Find out Bez will do a lot of things for free.
Yeah, if in doubt, bid 0 for Bez.
For a hug.
So we've got 499, 499. You need to hear what the actual thing is. Wait a moment, people. Come on, wait a moment.
We're just bidding on how much it will take Bez to do a random thing, because that's an interesting question all of itself.
Okay, so
Today on Metagaming,
we'll start off with one. I'll be the daredevil, as it's called, and we'll start off with the question of how much money would it take me, for example, to only eat ramen noodles for a week.
oh,
Now, everyone is allowed to ask me questions. If you're in the chat, feel free to ask questions, and I will answer
Got
them. Anyone else, feel free to ask the questions, and yeah, we'd go around, and then afterwards, everyone's going to write a number. We will reveal them simultaneously. The person who was the closest to what I declare is the actual value of me doing this will win a point. And that's how it goes. Does that make sense?
Was that an actual round?
Well, this is going to be the first round. It was just a quick overview. So only eat ramen noodles for a week.
okay.
Now this is where we start asking questions. Firstly, Alex asks, do I like ramen noodles? Yes, I do. Is that the only thing you can do, or the only thing you can eat? Wow, what? No, it's the only thing I can eat.
Alan's having a literal interpretation of the question as usual. No sleeping, no going to the
except for ramen noodles.
No, I thought I was autistic and took things literally.
Alan, what you do with ramen noodles is none of our business, okay? Just do it in your home by yourself so we don't have to hear about it. That's all I want.
To be fair, Alan can do whatever he likes with ramen noodles and other consenting adults.
Yeah, that's true. Bez, would you say your favorite flavor of ramen is something you would eat like literally breakfast, lunch, and dinner?
I don't think I've ever had ramen for instant noodles for breakfast.
Is there such a thing as sweet ramen? As in ramen you could have, say, with milk?
No, I can't think of such a thing.
No.
Just going to see my main issue with eating ramen is ramen and instant noodles, is it the same thing?
No.
Yeah, not quite, but they are close enough. You think of ramen as something that college students
let's hear
eat,
Jason's explanation. Why are they different?
There's a very different taste and texture. Ramens are normally thinner, and they're normally made much more watery. And I mean that there's a lot more fluids with it than you'd want in your super noodles. That's the difference that puts me off ramen, because I like my super noodles fairly dry.
Okay.
It doesn't sound like it's going to do any
I was assuming that it was instant noodles. I'm going to, just because that's something that I'm more able to answer, let's just go with the only thing I am allowed to eat or drinks. I can't eat and go for bubble tea or anything like that. The only thing I can eat or drink is instant noodles. I can add the flavorings. I'm not allowed to add, for example, an egg. I'm not allowed to chop up garlic and chuck that in. But
just comes in the package.
Instant noodles.
Okay. But you could have the different flavors.
Yeah, absolutely. Anything that comes in that packet.
Let's see. You got chicken, bacon, curry, Those ones I know of.
No other stuff. There's all sorts of
So here's
flavors. There's
there's chow mein flavour.
We may be wandering into a diatribe on noodles rather than answering the question here. I mean, if we want random facts about noodles, I'm totally prepared to play that game. But I feel it may be a departure from the rules as written.
Who pays for this food?
Who pays for this food? I'm imagining that I pay for it out of the money that is given to me.
I was about to say, normally we have specified as a house rule that any equipment, food, or other things required for the challenge are provided by the challenger.
Yeah.
So technically speaking, you come out of this ahead because, of course, your regular food budget will then be
right.
your profit.
Yeah, you've gotten free food for a week. I'm guessing we're playing in pounds then.
Yes.
Okay.
I have a problem with the premise. Why are we paying you at all to eat? I mean, if you're getting food, you should enjoy the food. And
someone's been a student.
What was that?
Someone's been a student.
I mean, you can bid nothing. You can say that Bez would do it for free.
Instant noodles for my breakfast. That's what it comes down to. I might want to have my vitamin water in the morning. I might want to have a bowl of cereal, or I might want to have a little bit of pate, or a bit of cheese, or tomatoes and peanuts, and a few olives on, as I had for kind of snack earlier on.
You can add all of that to the noodles. You can.
No, I can't. That's the rules. I'm not allowed to add anything.
Oh, I didn't catch that. Okay.
Okay, I got my answer.
I think, I've got my answer.
Okay,
I think we should have an answer. That's what we hear from Eternity on Noodles.
Have you got oodles of noodles facts?
And this is supposed to be in pounds, I guess?
Yes.
Sterling.
Yep. So if you're playing in dollars, then you need to divide it by about 1.5.
Wow.
I wish you had to divide it by about 1.5. Jesus. Can I start ordering US games again? Try 1.2.
Check the USD to GBP. Let's
1.5 was years ago. That's when you got $3 to £2. That was happy times.
It's 1.3. Okay.
For the Brits, I suppose. I mean, for the Americans, the opposite is true. But
I
then
mean,
again, very seldom do Americans order things from Britain.
Got my number. Has everyone got their number?
I don't know. In 2010, there was an upsurge of Jammy Dodgers being sent over.
Good
and it's not a lie.
So, Odin, do you mean 0 as in I would not do it for any amount, or 0 as in I would do it for free?
I think you have to read it as written that you would do it for free.
Yeah.
How about
so those are so just as part of the rules, guys. Those are two options. You can always say I would do it for free, or no amount of money. So you could throw $1 trillion at me, and I would never do it for any amount of money. Those are two always acceptable options.
And in that case, the person who put the highest number wins.
Would win.
Yes, because it's the closest without going over.
Oh.
Now,
okay.
Everyone reveal. Okay, so
wow,
let's
what a range.
See. Chris Backe says 100 quid. Xate says 10 quid. Heather suggests 100. Molly suggests 125. Andrew is 35. Jason is for free.
Oh no, I cost. This is for you.
25, 98, 98, and 1785. And the answer was 250.
Wow, you really like noodles for a week, do you? Given what we've previously got you to do for like a tenner.
I really like noodles, but I also really like other foods.
It's only a week, Bez. Although I don't think you feel very well after that week.
No, probably not.
And so Molly gets 1 point.
That's right. I just wanted to point out, even before Bez showed the answer, that I valued your sacrifice the most. I was even going to go higher. I was like 100, no, 150. I was going to go 200, and I'm like, no, like it's ramen. It's not that bad. Although I've actually never had ramen. But Bez, your sacrifice is valuable to me.
Thank you. I appreciate that. And now,
are you trying to be a guest again?
What?
Are you trying to be a guest again? Yeah.
I mean, that's how we all got here.
I mean, mostly.
No.
Okay, so now for Chris and everyone going forth, I'll ask you to check the three that I've just pasted in private chat and pick one of them.
Okay.
So you can read it out loud.
Sure. So do a belly flop from the high diving board.
Ooh.
Whoops.
Are you afraid of heights?
No.
Can you
you
swim?
I'm afraid of water.
No, I can't. No, I'm not afraid of heights. No, I'm not afraid of the diving board. Yes, I can swim. Though diving usually, yeah. Hopefully you just like swim, after you've done the dive and you're still like, yeah. Aqua Soul, so you afraid of pain? A little bit, yeah.
So if you don't, and you fail.
I will neither confirm nor deny. I have already done this semi-intentionally. I will neither confirm nor deny that.
That means it's confirmation.
How much did you get paid last time? You maybe did this or also not.
I will.
Was it for
I
charity?
should not confirm or deny alcohol may have been involved.
You did it.
So
Is
we're
there
on
no-
the vodka bottle constant again.
Can
I
we
think we've
list
had
the
this
number-
argument before.
Can we list a number of beers instead of financial incentives?
I think we previously established that a bottle of vodka was equivalent to 20 English pounds, for approximate values.
Would you have to do it again if you were too graceful the first time you tried?
Ooh.
As
think you
determined
have
by
to.
as determined by one or more of the judges that are watching, yeah, I guess I would have to until I got it
This
right
funny-
or something.
Are we all in
With
agreement
this-
that he didn't get it right the first time and needs to go again?
14 hours later, guys, what the heck?
Alex asked, how high up is the diving board?
Well, it usually, I believe the height's about 5 meters.
Yeah, 1, 3, and 5, aren't they fairly standard?
Yeah.
Why did you do this the first time?
Say,
Why did you do this the first time? You said you did it another time?
I'm
There was
neither
alcohol
confirming nor
involved.
denying it, but alcohol was involved. That's
Okay.
Well, alcohol and people to whom you were attracted also involved.
I should not confirm that. No.
So,
Would this money
Encourage-
would this
Alan's
would
question,
Are you allowed to wear anything?
I mean, it doesn't specify, so I'm going to say standard diving attire should be
I would
permitted.
I would allow for a standard issue pair of like men's swim trunks, but I would not
Yeah,
expect.
Grateful,
that
thank
leads
you.
me to one of my earlier questions I was going to ask, and then my next question. First question: are you afraid of accidentally losing said trunks in the process of diving? That's from experience.
It would
I
depend
mean,
on how many
Alex,
cameras
but-
are around, I suppose.
How do you feel about the possibility of an earthquake occurring mid-action that might cause the entire pool to empty? I mean, how out there do we have to get here on the possibility of covering
Hang
off?
on, it's actually more common than you think to lose your
Unbelievably,
trunks when
yes.
you're diving.
Okay, Jason, just
my
because you had a
second-
bad experience in the pool doesn't mean it happens to everyone.
I didn't say whether it was going to. I said, how afraid are you of having it? You have answered my question. Second question: is the money lining your own pocket, or is it going to charity?
What's actually going to me, man? I'm going to need it for the alcohol that comes after that to try to, get back to good or something.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, I got my answer.
I'm really
Okay.
concerned about the safety issues implied by this question because if people will do this for money and then potentially drown, this game could be a health hazard.
I think it's assumed
Absolutely.
that if he actually drowns on the second attempt, we'll fish him out.
Eventually,
So-
hopefully.
I'm just
Yeah.
going to assume that the temperature of the water is neither freezing nor literally boiling. It is just standard.
Again,
Well-
can we stop adding extra hazards and embarrassments to the questions as specified? And just, play them straight-ish.
I think what people, the viewers at home are saying is, Chris, you need to ask your questions.
How many sharks are in the pool, Chris?
That's a different question, actually.
It is.
Yeah, that is
I'm
a
well
different-
aware it's a different
Yeah.
question.
It's a reference.
Okay, write down your answers, people.
I've got my
A
answer.
lot of pressure.
I've got my answer.
Molly, you made Wing It. It's all about storytelling under pressure. Talk to me
know,
afterwards, okay?
I can't handle pressure from other
Bring it.
people.
Flip it.
So,
So we've got
Forgotten's answer.
Oh, me and Heather have convergence in
with
progress.
80,000.
Wow.
Okay.
That's a.
We've
it's like
got
a
Heather
house.
with 150. 150 also. 1,000.
£1,000.
50 pounds.
Low bid.
Wait. 300 pounds.
All right.
350.
wow.
40 pounds.
Interesting.
No. That wasn't £40.
189.
That wasn't £40. That was £40, 2 beers and a date, which is a very specific amount.
How good are the beers and how good is the date?
Extra bits.
Is it the date
Something
with
like
Aquastulis? Because now I want to go.
I was going to say, so if it is a date with Aquastulis, then that makes the overall monetary value to minus 50 pounds, plus the 2 beers, whatever those end up being. So,
Right.
oh, okay, so
Beers
Bez,
each.
bam.
500.
Alright, Bez gets it.
No, it's
No.
350.
For the
Wow.
350 is the winner. Now,
From
I
Odin.
think both
I'm gonna go with
Bez and
Odin.
Solomon did.
I'm disappointed in your undervaluing of the pain you're going to experience.
Okay,
and the possible
I mean, it's not worth a Tesla.
I'm not going to stand up now to prove it, but
Nothing's worth a Tesla.
I have a very large amount of padding in the belly area that I might not have had when I did this before. So I'm less worried about that than,
Actually, it would be easier with the less padding you have.
I disagree. Yeah.
We should test this for science. Yes.
Yes, let's do this.
Hi, Jake.
Okay. Sate, which one are you going to go with? By the way, we're working clockwise, if that makes sense.
Okay. It says throw away all the tech and gadgets you own.
Okay, so that's the one you're picking.
Sure, it's the first one. I don't care. I'll do that one.
Okay.
In percentage, how much? Not in the middle of a pandemic. How much is your social life online versus offline?
Social what?
Social life.
Social life.
Self-deprecating humor.
Do you spend more than 6 hours a day in front of a screen?
Yeah.
Right. Okay.
Except Sundays, because I play board games all day Sunday.
Do you need the tech for work? And if so, are we allowing exemption of items you need for work?
I can't answer that question until tomorrow.
What?
Fair one.
Don't answer this if it's too personal.
Job offer isn't finalized yet. So.
Don't answer this if it's too. Ignore my question if it's too personal.
Okay, next.
Details. Is there any tech you rely on, and not just for like entertainment purposes, but that aids your life in any way?
I mean, that's not really tech, is it? But
that is tech.
Do you mean like a hearing aid?
I mean, on that basis, tech is a pen.
Hearing
everything has been invented by a human is tech.
Like a pacemaker or something like that.
I wouldn't call that tech. I'd say tech has to be something that's not life-sustaining.
It's got a battery. It's gonna be tech.
Okay, so we're going with everything with batteries, not just like I was thinking this meant like computers and.
Well, no. Anything with batteries, anything that might get plugged in, things like that.
Hardcore everything. That does change my values a little bit.
So things like a toaster is a gadget.
I mean, for some people, a laptop is an aid because they can't socialize outside of the online community. So that is an aid. So that's why I'm asking a question. It's not just about electric wheelchairs or hearing aids or.
Okay, so we're going with everything, even slightly technical.
Sure.
So
Apparently everything's electrical, which I
everything's
disagree with,
electrical.
but that seems to be the premise.
That's not what I thought it meant when I read the question, but okay.
Okay, well, if we go with
Well,
your parameters,
you set the parameters, Xate.
you
Yeah,
set the parameters. That's what I was.
I interpreted the question to mean like literally my laptop, phone, smart devices of any kind I might own or not.
Yeah, that would be my definition of tech.
Things.
Not anything
Like-
that happens to have a
And
plug
your
on it.
overhead
Game
camera.
consoles, cameras, sure. Like actually like that kind of thing.
And are you
Okay.
that question before I want to know the answer to as well? Are you're thinking you can never ever buy them again, or you
That
just
was
have
not- no, it said I just had to throw them away. I could go out on the same day as far as I'm concerned if I had the money and get new ones.
That was actually my question. Do you have the money currently to replace everything you would throw away? And do you feel comfortable?
I don't have the money currently to buy a pizza, so
I mean, to be fair, you would have to bid at least what the tech is worth, because by definition, nobody's going to choose to throw away something for less than the replacement value. A better question would be, does any of your tech have any sentimental value or other value aside from its main purpose?
sentimental value
Good
for
question.
tech? Like, no.
I
Well, you
mean,
might
some
have
people are
to-
attached
yeah,
to their
okay.
first mobile or
Because
cell
you've got
phone.
to
for
throw
those of
away
you who
the
speak
hard
cell
drive.
phone.
Do I have to throw away the SIM card in my phone or just my phone? Because that might change it.
You set the parameters.
Yeah, if you can back the data up, because otherwise the data has worth. Because technically, if I had to back up my data, that would be.
I
I mean, I guess
vote
there's
for
options to do
backing up
that.
data because that's just cruel.
okay, so it's literally only the physical devices that are
Okay, that sounds
okay.
good.
That sounds.
That does include the hard drives.
So
So
just
you're
not
saying
data.
you are allowed to back it up.
That's what
Yes.
was said. Yes.
Okay.
I should also maybe mention some of you have a slight advantage knowing me better, and some other people probably wouldn't think to ask a certain question about my phone. But maybe there's a question there.
Oh. Is anything in your... Oh, go ahead, Bez.
I was going to go through the questions from chat. Firstly, is any of it irreplaceable?
No.
Would you need to remove anything battery powered?
Oh, that
Well,
was.
We just said that. No, I don't think any of that's batteries. No, so. I have a
Implied
I have
criticism.
a 2011 MacBook Air that died a year ago, and it's being patched together every couple of weeks so I can keep using it.
Oh no! Is your phone really broken? Like I have touch screen and
No, it's
stuff.
in the middle of the stream. Just
Oh, your phone is way better than my phone. That's not even the right category of phone to be asking me about.
I'm just asking if yours is broken. Like, is it cracked or anything?
No, Xate can totally talk on their phone.
I can talk on my phone. It's not nearby, so I can't show it to you, but it does not look like yours.
Would you have to leave the stream? Alex asks.
Oh, wait.
Well, I guess it would depend on how quickly someone got me a new camera and computer. I mean, so it's up to you, Aqua.
Maybe at the end of the stream on an Amazon
No, you
Prime.
can You can back up to remote drives now, Prey. There's enough digital services out there that will hold your data for you without you having to physically possess the backup device.
I'm going to walk into a dark part of my room while you're still considering this because I think somebody needs to see something.
I mean, to be fair, if Alan Alton's around, you're lucky we aren't going to a dark part of your brain.
Okay, so we do have the.
I just feel like, for fairness' sake, because there's 2 or 3 of you who know this about me already,
Oh, okay.
I
That's
should
the point
tell
of the
rest of people
game,
my
Mr.
phone.
Flip phone, yeah.
Wow.
Phone.
I had like a 15.
Okay, guys, change my answer. There's like a mixed thing here going on. On one hand,
Okay,
your social
so-
life is made
That is your
online.
phone. Are
On
you
the other
happy with
hand,
your phone?
no, it's actually.
I can't hear you both, so pick one. Heather, what were you
Yes,
asking?
yes.
Are you happy that's your phone?
Yes.
Okay.
I would say
All
there's
right.
mixed feelings now because on one hand, your social life is mainly online from what you've implied, and I also know a tiny bit about when we've had chats behind the scenes and stuff. However, your technology level is fairly low.
Okay,
I
right
think
down
we're
your
basically in the realm of replacement cost. It's fairly obvious that Zate would
Nobody's
probably
asked
just
me what
replace
else
things.
I have. I mean, you.
Maybe
Okay.
we already know. many of us possess knowledge. I mean, again, that's getting to know people is
Yeah,
the name
that
of the game.
sounds
You don't want to
familiar.
give away your
Yeah,
advantage
sure.
by telling everybody stuff
And
you know.
Chris to ask questions.
I mean, just because you have a server farm in your back garden that you use to secretly manipulate the NSA, nobody needs to know that.
That's too low.
True.
Wait, so
Adding extra zeros.
what other kinds of devices do you have in that case?
Pardon?
What other kinds of devices do you have in that case?
I have a first generation iPad mini that stopped working 2 weeks ago.
Oh.
So a break.
You're just having the best of luck with technology.
I have a webcam. What else did we say was included? Oh, I technically do have like 4 or 5 smartphones. They're all older, but they all work, but I've never used any of them ever. But I guess I would throw them away too because they are in this category.
Right, I've had to write a new number for this.
I'm confused by all those smartphones that you might own.
I mean, I own about 4, but
I
all
at
in
some
various
point
states of
mentioned that
growth.
my flip phone had a faulty connection and that I couldn't get phone calls anymore. And the reaction of my friends was to immediately send me smartphones.
I want your friends.
Then someone slightly smarter fixed my phone for me, so I can use this one again.
Okay.
I've written down my answer.
I mean, my
bring it to the end.
phone is secondhand from my grandmother.
Oh, and I have a professional quality mini DV camera from the 10 years old.
Hey,
I think
There we
I'm way overestimating it, but I don't feel right going.
This
any
is gonna
lower.
be
I have to
funny.
say this.
Yeah. Okay. Let's show.
Okay, so Chris
I'm
said
way over.
2,500. 725,000 from Jason.
Somebody's
I'm-
taking the NSA server farm too seriously. 2,750.
2,750.
I was going for a larger number until,
102?
you know,
Is that the value of the stone?
Molly's now oscillated back in the opposite direction.
4,000. I went with 1,000. And
So-
from the chat, we've got
I'm way over. I know that.
3,000, 1,234, 2,249 and 23 pence, 2,999.
That was a million.
We have a
I
fairly...
did want too many zeros.
Nobody was
I'll
listening when
go
I
that.
said MacBook, right? I said MacBook. I have to
You
throw
said
it away and buy a new
2011
MacBook.
MacBook Air.
Yeah, but if I throw it away, I still need a new MacBook, right?
2011.
I mean,
Well-
you can get away.
Yeah, but I can't buy another. I have to
You
buy
won't get
a new
anything
one.
for
I
that.
should have stuck with my original bid. I had 3,750, and I thought that's
You
too
won't
high.
get-
You can easily get an old MacBook for...
I got
5,000.
Why would I
Good
buy
MacBook
another
for that.
old laptop if I finally throw away my old laptop? I'm obviously going
true.
to get the top of the line, very best new laptop that'll then be my laptop for the next 15 years. Like always.
Oh. See,
And then you're also including TV,
Right?
everything else. You might get a
Yeah, I think Heather got it.
thing for that price.
yeah, Heather. Wow. I don't understand. I thought because you didn't really have a lot of technology you didn't mind getting rid of, that it would be a really low number.
Oh, I just figured this is a great excuse to finally up my game. You know, you guys are going to pay me to get rid of my broken old crap, and I get to replace it with brand new, wonderful, shiny new Mac products on your dime. That sounded like a good deal to me.
Yeah.
I'm
Well
prepared to
played.
buy you an Apple.
So
I'm gonna write down the number. Take 10 was my original thing. I think my hand got away from me.
Yes,
So
why
when
don't we
do I
let,
get
let
these
you
paychecks?
negotiate contracts?
I'm just wondering, when is this happening? Is this going to be like today, tomorrow? When are we doing this?
Whatever. I mean, we still haven't scraped up enough to make Bez talk in a French accent for a week, and we did that 4 months ago, so... You know.
There's a really creepy shadow outside the front door. I know it's a tree in the wind, but there's something very unnerving being the only one in this part of the house, and there's a shadow screaming.
I mean,
against
I
the
have a
door.
chainsaw, and I'm prepared to bring it round for a certain amount of money.
Is that the next thing? So
I really like Mac.
Jason,
Jason,
have you
right.
picked a thing from the private chat?
Did we
Is it the
conclude who got a
latest
point?
message?
Yeah, it was Heather.
Was it? Okay, good.
Do you want to have a new... Hooray, Heather! You want to show your 3,000... 4,000?
Heather would still have beaten me. I'd still have been 250 low. Okay, cool.
not say the word no for a full day.
Ooh.
I mean, it strikes me that's easily defeated by any one of a number of other negatives that would.
Oh, I'm saying that no and synonyms and anything that can mean no. A bit like if I was playing the word yes, no.
Uh-huh.
So kind of like the last
And
year of my life.
What was that?
Yours had qualifiers.
That's true. I had qualifiers.
Are we
I'm
to
not
assume
allowed-
that negative gestures are covered under the same sort of, clause?
I'm not
No.
allowed to deny no, anything like that.
Are you allowed to be by yourself for this day?
I don't get to choose the day, but it's
Ooh.
probably quite likely I'm physically on my own.
Can you just ignore something if someone
I
says
was about
something
to
you would
say.
normally just say no to? Can you just like delay or ignore that, or must you reply positively?
So what you're saying is don't change my habits. No. For fairness here, and this will give it away, if I don't make it harder, I have oppositional defiance disorder.
You have what?
Which means oppositional defiance disorder, which basically means I struggle to not fight against what someone's saying, and I have to go against the opposite. It's a very simplified explanation. Very, very.
Did we have a double negative in there? Run
You're
that by me again, Jason.
argumentative by nature.
Argumentative by nature. Thank you, Heather. Yes.
You can't not say something contrary.
Yep.
And let's establish that Jason can't just do this or make other gestures to imply no.
Yeah.
Do you
I can't
find
say that.
yourself currently saying no a lot in your everyday life to people?
I do, particularly to people who want me to do things for free. Write me for free or next to nothing.
£1, then.
I
Okay.
would very much like to know what they were going to say.
I tend to say more than no, but it's the same realm of the phrase. Depends how polite they are, depends how not polite I'm back.
So synonyms taken to its logical and four-letter conclusion are also included.
Yes. I can't academicize my way around it.
Interesting.
So,
Academicize. Is that a British word that I never
Yes.
picked up?
A
Is that a
British person
Jason?
just
to
used it.
clarify,
Okay.
because I feel like I missed this. What was the answer for? Are you allowed to walk away and just ignore them?
No, because that's a denial. That's a no.
So what would you have to do? What exactly do you have to do if someone asks you something and you can't say no? You
I
just
have
have
to
to
say yes.
comply.
Basically, I'm saying that I have to say yes. Think of the situation, yes, man.
Yeah.
Are you allowed to then turn them down the next day?
Right. That was my question too.
I mean, it depends how terminal the original request is, doesn't it?
Because I can only say no, not allowed to say no for 24 hours. Actually, no, I'm going to stretch that for full, for full 24 hours. That I'm going to say I can't say no or anything about it. So I possibly can say no the next day.
I mean, I'm guessing that about 5 to 10% of the deck is potentially lethal. So if we just took that as, indicative, I seem to recall sharks being mentioned previously. One or two other.
Can you say no, but just decide to change your mind hours later?
The next day, possibly, yeah.
Yeah. Or
Assuming
rather,
the
say
shark isn't
yes.
that hungry.
Yeah, the next day I could probably change my mind.
And
That seems kind of a cop out.
how do you feel about breaking promises?
I have a high level of want to pay in have integrity. That's a bad sentence. I I don't like to let people down. I really don't like letting people down, and I don't like lies. I think even white lies are horrible. So if someone asks me, do I look fat in this?
No.
Yeah.
Oh, no.
If I can't
So what we're
say
saying is, if you
no,
want fashion
I will-
advice from Jason for the next 24 hours, you are good.
I mean, if you want fashion
I mean,
advice
not fat
from Jason
shaming.
generally,
And I'm not saying it's a bad thing. What I'm saying is don't expect me
This
to
is the correct
dance
level of
around
my
and not
fashion advice.
Tell my perception.
Oh, would
Yeah.
other
That's
people-
much better. Leave it like that.
Yeah, I thought so.
Would other people know that this condition was applied to you on the day it was applied to you? Or would
Are
it
you
be
hoping to sort of just get by nobody realizing?
Other than people who are here right now or want to watch it later will know.
That's
Okay.
enough.
So the
we can
The
get
entire
enough things
internet,
out of you for that.
potentially.
So I'll start the pay-per-view stream now. It'll be 20 quid,
Yep.
and we can all watch.
It hasn't started as yet, Alton, so no.
You
And
expect
I
the
think
payment
you've
up
already
front?
said you
Yes.
can't say negative. We've already answered this. I think that Jason's
Yeah,
word
how much
means
is
a
your
lot.
word?
Did we answer this?
See, that's not saying no, but that's not saying yes either.
Deferral.
I asked that actually.
Oh,
I
okay.
asked you defer, and you said no.
I have to answer. I have to answer them. I can't say no. I have to answer them. I said.
It strikes me as any question asked of you should itself contain a time-limited clause. Jason, in the next 23 hours, would you be kind enough to...
Yes.
Don't lawyer me!
Yeah.
I'm perfectly capable of lawyering back.
I would talk to you about this later is the same as no in this scenario, right?
What?
Yes.
Like deferring to talk about it tomorrow is the same thing as saying no.
Yeah.
So
An
no.
adequately talented questioner, I think yes, because that's just
Mate,
proven
yeah.
somebody could time limit their question or their request.
I just want to
Okay.
point out Aqua Solis has had a very wise question a couple times that I want to hear the answer to. It's how likely is it that you would have to reluctantly accept something you'd really want to refuse? Thank you for
Rising
that.
by the minute.
Fairly high. And it's
I've got my
not necessarily
number.
anything hugely
Yeah.
negative. It's normally something to do with a sensory issue.
And we've decided that no one else is going to be informed of this. We accept
else.
that the judge who is paying you the money isn't going to be an evil genie and inform other people of this, but you just have to take whatever comes your way, and people might learn of it of their own accord.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Everyone
Okay,
ready?
is everyone ready?
No idea.
Mhm.
I've got my answer.
Bez, you need to put some questions up for me.
Really confused.
Oh, shoot. Thank you for reminding me.
I figured I'd give you till we had to bid just to see if you'd done so, but you know. Oh, yes,
How
I
do
have
you
that one
know
too.
I like Skittles, actually?
So we're now paying in Skittles? Okay, no amount of
Okay,
Skittles.
So, we've got myself, 10,000.
Whoa.
Chris, no amount. Sate, 200. Andrew Dennison, no amount of money. Molly, 999.
Woo!
4,000 million billion.
That's
that billion?
4 trillion.
I think I actually thought I'm going to leave this answer, but I thought no amount of money. That's my true belief. That's what I'm aiming for. So if no one else had said no amount of money, I'd win. If that's the correct answer, right?
But,
Well,
but
if-
Jason
if
was going to
any-
cut off their own arm a few weeks ago for like nothing.
We've got,
I think an upgrade was offered.
Oh, okay.
yeah, it was a mechanical arm. That was the thing.
Hmm.
Yeah.
Okay.
10,101, 99. I don't
What are
understand.
you saying, Alton?
Negative 50? What?
I don't understand why Jason would pay 10,000.
I would pay. I would pay if I do this.
No.
What is the actual answer?
No amount. Because I can guarantee that at some time my husband will ask me to do the washing up, which he constantly forgets. It makes me feel like I'm going to throw up. So it's real sensory issue for me. It takes so many spoons. I tend to avoid it. And he would ask me because he
Spoons?
forgets.
Yes.
Energy levels. It's a
Oh,
messy
okay.
thing.
Plus, when you're washing up, you
I
definitely.
thought you
eat
meant
more
that the
food.
spoons were particularly problematic.
No. Well, no. It's just,
So the people
the
who
idea of rubber
said no
gloves
amount
would
of
be
money
yeah.
were Odin,
Yeah.
Chris, and Andrew Dennison, right?
Mhm.
Yes.
I believe so. Let me.
And I think Heather should get a point there as well because that's what she kind of meant. I think.
Yeah,
But she tried to game the game and she lost.
I'm allowed to write that. I think I knew I was allowed to write that.
Okay.
But if
Did Heather write?
I wrote a very high amount of money, so
Heather
I
wrote 4
was
billion.
hedging
Yeah,
my
you see,
bet. No one
that's a
else
different
was paying
bid
no amount of
because-
money.
Okay. Maybe that is a different bid then.
Yeah,
Okay.
because if it
So if you actually mean no amount of money, write no amount of money. If you think he might actually do it for £4 billion, then yeah.
Yeah, we've previously ruled that infinite money is in fact different from no amount of money, because infinite money is all the money in the world, whereas no amount of money is you can't be bored.
No,
Yeah.
well, I mean, the truth is that I believed that's what he was going to say, but I was trying to get a point by hoping no one else
would say it. Yeah.
And that's
Okay.
valid.
Yeah.
Totally
No, that's
valid.
Yes,
okay.
it was. You had a concept, but you tried to play an alternate strategy in the hope of profiting.
Right.
And didn't.
And it didn't work.
No.
Yeah.
A mixture of ODD, autism, arrogance and grandiosis, and being a creative, just no. What will happen?
Right, I'll take never run, only walk for the rest of your life.
Ooh.
Interesting.
Wow, for the rest of your life. That's a pretty long time.
What do you class?
I mean, I'm not sure, but I'm hoping so.
Do you find yourself running more than once a month right now for any reason?
Yes.
Running?
Do you run for fun?
Yes.
Okay.
What do you class as a run? Because I think the general consensus in for those who study it is you're kind of have to momentarily leave the ground.
Yeah, you see, I would classify that as not trying hard enough.
Well, explicitly it says only walk.
It says only walk, yes.
So jog also. No.
Yes. I will accept the scientific definition as yes. Okay, so I have to have one foot at the ground at all times, except arguably if jumping, I suppose.
Do you...
Or going into bed.
It's like critical to your emotional health to be able to run?
I don't know. I
That's
haven't
an
tried
honest
not
answer.
doing it.
Right.
I feel like the one foot on the ground thing is a little bit different from walking and running. So, are you limiting it now to saying you also only have
No. When locomoting, I must keep one foot on the ground.
Darn.
Locomoting manually as a bipedal human. Yes. I feel this group is the only group that would possibly interrogate walking to this level, rather than accepting the premise of the question.
Well, for what it's worth, guys, I will say that I have now playtested this game literally dozens of times with dozens of groups across probably 8 or 9 countries. This is the most rules lawyery game I have ever played of this. So,
You did want to playtest it. Destruction.
Oh, just to say bye to Rowan, and I hope. So, Aquasulus asks, would you have to adhere to the limits of race walking?
I mean, logically, yes.
Yes.
And have we covered this?
I don't do it solely for the purpose of those activities, but I do it as part of other hobbies.
Okay.
Okay. Are there other forms of exercise you enjoy just as much or more than running?
Yes, but many of them involve running.
No, she means like.
Could I substitute all of the things I need?
Running, you enjoy just as much as ones that do.
There are.
Or swimming.
You could just change positions, Be a
Wait,
quarterback. They don't run.
Well, what were you gonna say?
They run. They run.
I don't know. That depends how good the DNs are.
How good the what?
Shared interest in
He's a
hand.
Brit.
Yes,
got it.
I'm a Brit that plays the game that you guys think is
Oh,
called
it was a
football.
British joke. Got it. Wait, so
Yeah.
tell me. So I feel like we heard your other people answer for you, but what's your answer? Are there other forms you would exercise that don't require?
There are other forms of exercise I enjoy that do not require me running correct.
Okay.
Don't go into those, please.
And is
There are many other forms of exercise that I enjoy that don't involve.
Oh, I love it. Do run, do run.
Is-
Chrysalis.
Okay, so
is soccer like a big part of your social life then? Or football? A big
Yes.
part of your social life? Okay.
When I'm allowed to play it.
Right. And in general, this is the first time we've had a question that's like so unreasonable because it's your whole life. So are we kind of pretending that it's like a magic spell that's placed on you and you'd physically never be able to run again?
I mean, sure, if you want.
That's safe to say.
Okay.
Yeah, or that I'm
So-
just, very good at behaving.
I mean, Bez, how did you put it? Choose your own restrictions?
yeah.
I mean, again, if I got really large, I mean, I'm not sure many offensive linesmen ever get up to what could be called a run.
I mean, if you're in danger,
If they advance more than 2 yards, then they've done it wrong.
if you were in danger, would you still be able to run away from it?
No.
No.
Mm-hmm. And just something that I feel like I have no sense of about you yet, just how important is money and like materialistic things to you in your life? Like,
I am comfortably mid-range.
okay.
How very American of you. Very American.
Possibly.
Yeah.
Okay, so I know we've got to most of us
Social
are ready,
breaks with
so
you
if we can
traitors.
move to the answers.
I need to run right after this, so
Yeah, I would be
So
far
we've
behind.
got Chris, who says 5 million. Oh, sorry, Andrew, had you written your answer?
Yes.
Okay.
5 million. No amounts of money. I like those symbols. 1 million. Whoops, you can't see that.
Hold on.
No amount of money.
No amount of money.
Mm-hmm.
No amounts of money. No amounts. I said 20,000. I feel very low now.
That's not even a year's salary. but-
£560,264 and 79 pence. And the answer is
No.
money.
I finally
Dang
get
I
it.
thought I was giving some people some easy points for that one,
Well, you gave a lot of people easy
Andrew,
points.
thank you for
What can I
giving
say?
me
The
one.
girls know me better.
I think we've established that I'm not good at this game. No matter how much I
I mean,
enjoy it,
you're
I'm
better at
not
it than
good
Bez
at it.
is by current accounting.
So wait, so who got a point there? Chris?
I did.
No. No, I
Andrew
guess.
first. Thank you for giving me one. Thank you.
Heather? Molly got one.
Yeah, baby.
Somebody on
I
stream
have to
did.
go.
Trey did.
So-
Alex did.
Well, just to say, yeah, Xates has to go, but thank you so much, and I hope you have a wonderful evening.
You guys too. Have fun.
And if
care.
you want to know, oh, he's gone.
I have to go soon too, but I will see if I can stay to complete the round out of
Yes.
So happy.
some sort of symmetry.
All right.
So, we had Alex, Xates, and Prey also said no amounts of money. So on their way out, Prey also gets a thing.
This felt like too much of an inconvenience, but also like I didn't want you to not have fun exercising for the rest of your life.
Yeah.
It doesn't sound good.
I mean, also just judging from general
Okay.
builds and stuff, I like to move around the place briskly. Like,
Yeah. Well,
I would genuinely be frustrated just if I couldn't just jog across town because I needed to be somewhere.
Well, the reason I said £5 million was to alleviate any issues. Maybe you get a personal trainer that does the running for you, so you can like watch them. Maybe that helps a little bit.
Servant.
Mm,
Go run
I mean-
errands.
10 million and we can talk, but
I mean,
He
someone
does have a price, ladies and gentlemen.
So, Molly, do you
Okay.
have a challenge that you have picked?
Yes, actually, I just want to share that this assortment is quite good, and I thought I would share my British actually Scottish heritage, but I can't do a Scottish accent. So we have fight the current sumo wrestling champion, but forget that. Then there were two that were very similar. So one is not use a computer, tablet, or phone for a year, and one is delete your Facebook and Twitter accounts.
Oh.
I am
one
gonna
of these
go.
seems familiar to an earlier one.
Yeah, exactly. I'm gonna go with not use a computer, tablet, or phone for a year?
Oof.
Same question I asked Sates. How much of your life is online?
Online. A lot of the hours of my day are spent online for work and end of day pleasure, just like scrolling through Facebook and responding to people and stuff. I also, well, sorry, I don't want to give away too much. Okay.
How would you continue your business if you couldn't use those three things? I mean, can you imagine a plan, a way that you could continue doing business? Could somebody else do all that stuff for you and you just talk to them?
I think you just fed me the answer, Heather. I would have to outsource all of it or instruct someone else about what to do on the computer. Or you notice that only 3 devices were included. There might be another kind of...
You're planning to exploit loopholes involving alternate tech.
It's not saying no internet. It says no computer, tablet, or phone. For example, if the Kindle were to be outfitted with internet, I could use a Kindle.
Kindle's a tablet.
Yeah.
That is a tablet.
That is very definitely a tablet.
So someone will invent another device, for example.
Smartwatch is the way forward.
A smart water bottle.
And you see
smartwatch
not have the same capabilities.
Right?
She runs her entire business from her smartwatch, ladies.
What was that, Heather?
I mean, a computer is a laptop, is a tablet, it is a Kindle,
Yeah. So we've established that Molly is allowed to employ an internet slave to operate these devices for her.
I would be employing them. I would pay them. I take a lot of pride in paying them.
Okay, a well-paid internet slave.
So are you thinking
how much would you pay them? How much would you feel like you had to pay somebody to replace
I think that's
everything
too much.
you do?
To actually do my job, it depends on their experience level and their age. I would say between 20 and 40 an hour. We pay our designers 40 an hour, our graphic designers. I know we pay pretty well. Although actually that's still not even close to market rate for New York City, but she's been working with us since she was quite young. I'm just going to point out that yes, to questions in the chat, I would have to work over the next year. I definitely need computer and phone for my job. It's a very smart TV. I like that question. Smart TV, sure, that's allowed, of course. I can advice.
Stretching the limits of the rules of the stream to its logical conclusion, how much of your technology use, computer, tablet, and phone, would you say is of a intimate or adult nature that you might not be willing to delegate to somebody else?
I have never looked at porn. Okay, just to clarify.
I mean, talking dirty with your partner when they're on a business trip could be considered, perfectly acceptable, and yet might not be something you want to do by remote.
Betting is also of an adult nature. I just point out. Your head jumped to that. And betting is
consensual
also
within a marriage,
I am totally clean and I have no partner, so.
So for a year, we have to rule out you dating with. Okay, yeah, fine.
I mean, it actually is kind of true that if you don't have a partner, I guess maybe, are we thinking of this as kind of a general lifetime, not in pandemic time? You can't even use a phone. So you can't talk to anybody unless you have somebody with you, right?
It's going to be very hard to date for a year without a telephone, I'm thinking.
Yeah.
The art of letter writing is not dead.
The art of letter writing is not yet dead, and Molly is bringing it back.
What's that then?
The art of letter writing.
Right. Oh, letter writing. And also, can I just point out that someone has said smart TVs have web browsers. I could use also a TV with, what's it called? The TV phones. My brother and his wife were dating before cell phones were really a thing, or at least before this kind of phone, well before. In the 90s, they totally use video TVs or something like that, video phones, and we can just not call them phones. We'll just call them something else.
No.
Okay, so we're bending rules then. Okay.
Also, I just want to point out that some of the men on here are making a lot of assumptions about how I might interact with a partner. Not true. Not true.
Oh, I made no assumptions at all. I asked the question straight up. Was how much do you... There was no assuming involved. There was merely a clarification.
There is nothing that I do that I could
And
not.
I don't remember Chris saying anything about that.
You what?
I don't remember Chris saying anything about that. Therefore, none of the men will make an assumption.
Technically, this is also true. I feel we've exploited this to the level we probably can, not least because I'm fairly sure that Molly has about 78
I've
loopholes
had
lined
my
up.
answer ready for the past 5 minutes, and nothing I've heard has changed it. So I'm either really confident or really wrong.
It's possible you are both confident and wrong.
Oh,
yeah.
did you say a year? You said a year.
Okay.
1 year, yes.
Yeah. I mean, to be fair, the way Molly's been going at this question, I feel we should define that as a Julian year, not including leap years, as measured by reference to the atomic clock. Just in case, Molly had aspirations to do this on, I don't know, Mercury or...
I mean, the Gregorian calendar is still not 100% accepted around the world. In fact, I think it was in 2015 only Saudi Arabia accepted the Gregorian calendar as its main calendar.
Wait,
I
how
know this.
long is a Julian year?
365 days.
Yeah. Exactly.
But I think Andrew's point was that if Molly wanted, Molly could say, "Oh, a year is technically a year on another planet, so a much shorter period of time."
Yeah, I don't know what the connectivity is like on Mercury.
Well, up front, you get the money before the year happens.
I think so, yeah. I'm going to go with yes.
So technically speaking, we could fund a NASA-sponsored mission whereby Molly is the sole astronaut to Mercury, where the year will be shorter and she can communicate to us by space probe.
No,
Yeah, I mean that pretty much gets us right through that legal conundrum.
Well, hang on a second. There's so many computers that are necessary as part of the takeoff of the space project. Or is he not?
No,
it's
but
because
someone else
he's not
is using
typing at it himself.
Molly's only going into space rockets.
I was about to say, if we define Molly as payload, that's a moot point.
Okay, well,
No.
if he's
We're
yeah,
gonna
if he's
know how much
a
I
Too much.
okay, all right.
That's far too
Okay,
much.
has
Okay.
everyone, Molly, you've written
No.
an answer?
Hang on. Never choose
I'm no
a
close
big
to writing an answer
persuade.
because I suspect rules lawyering.
Yeah, this. Yeah,
Andrew, just
plus-
write a number.
Thank you, Andrew.
Plus
I'll
the
take that
salary.
as a compliment.
Plus the salary, you'd have to pay someone else. To do
I should have
it.
been a lawyer. I would have made a great lawyer.
You see, I don't think any salaries are going to be paid. I think rules lawyering is involved.
I'm going to go for this, but I think I'm way off again. As I've discovered.
I love statements like this in these sorts of games. I'm going to go for an answer, rationally trying to get a point, and already know that it's wrong.
All right, ready?
Okay.
Yeah.
Heather said 5 million.
Wow. Ooh.
Jason,
Somebody's being far too honest about their
150,000.
interpretation.
2 million.
$1,000, and that's to notarize the legal fees that she's going to need for the loophole.
50,000.
Not cool.
43,000, £1, and
Yeah. Ew, your answers are so delightfully random.
I'm also hoping that if it's more like 20 grand, I'm still in because I've gone with the highest answer.
oh, we've not had
Isn't
something
disqualified.
from Odin.
Yeah, that's
Alright,
the one you read. Okay, so in all fairness, Heather's answer was super tempting. And I didn't really realize till after I decided on my answer that I could have just gotten paid well over what I would make for a year.
Right.
But there's a real factor in terms of loneliness, y'all, and I'm a big extrovert. So turns out I'm gonna go with no amount.
Oh!
So I
Oh, wow.
was the highest, right? Unless there was somebody in the.
You were the
Mommy.
highest. Yeah.
I had 2
What was
million.
your number?
Heather?
Mine was 5 million.
5 million.
5 million. Then Heather gets
Right.
it.
Yeah, I was
I
going to
was
say,
That's
I
a
believe
little
Heather
higher.
gets the
thinking about this.
I actually, but see, I'm picturing you because I know you'd like to road trip and stuff. I could see this being actually wonderful for you. I don't have to do my normal job for a year. I just go around and meet individual store owners for a year and like have dinner with them. And that's my life for a year. That might not be such a bad thing for you, right?
Plot
I
twist.
visit them all the time anyway. It would be more about like I'd have to only communicate people if we were in person or writing letters, which does sound kind of challenging. The smart TVs was a good loophole, though. Just saying.
It would be
But what
to
does
contact the
doesn't
police.
that take care of your loneliness?
What?
with the smart TV being used as a phone, doesn't that take care of the loneliness issue?
It might. I have a little bit of precautionary cringing inside about the learning curve to learn the smart TV. It's just so easy to pick this up and dial someone, you know?
I mean, that is technically a smart TV.
What?
That is technically a smart TV. You can still watch things on it.
I mean, you can argue semantics all day, and then Andrew will pay you $1,000 to pay your lawyers. So.
Not if you're not going to use phones for a year.
Oh wait, Jason, what was it you said about the men comment I was joking about with Crusades? What was the thing you mentioned?
I was saying that there's only 2 men in this group. I'm non-binary.
Oh, okay. Sorry, I was thinking that y'all were that many people of different genders were making assumptions about partner conversations.
I just want to, even with that factor in, I mentioned betting, which is still an adult activity, not what you jumped your conclusion to.
Okay, fair.
Betting is an adult activity.
Exactly. Unless you count Pokemon.
Sorry. I mean, loot boxes are defined as an adult activity by Belgium.
Pokemon is an adult activity just now.
No. I think it was in Diamond and Pearl. There was a casino, and I think in some countries it was banned because it was classed as.
I can believe this.
Yeah.
I mean, Fallout gets banned routinely in just about every country that cares to.
Oh, is it time for me to be looking, Bez?
Yep.
Yes, I've displaced myself laterally across the screen by virtue of pressing the wrong button.
Sorry. I could probably get you back to your original spot. There it is.
That wasn't actually a requirement for correction.
I like this because the colour scheme, you've got red, and then I want to say you had black or certainly a dark colour, Chris, and then it got black.
Kind of a brown shirt.
I think Molly is pointing out that their shirts is not really red. It's more like salmon.
I mean, I think
reddish.
Yes, red pinkish. You can't tell.
I think Chris has stolen my shirt, to be fair. His has something on it.
It's Speedy Gonzalez.
My topic is going to be wear bright orange lipstick for a week.
Oh, nice.
I don't even need to ask a question. I am not going to ask a question here. I think I've already got the answer for this one.
That's enlightening.
Heather, how do you I just want to know the rules of the question. Do you have to reapply it every time you kind of eat or accidentally get a bit of it off?
I think it would need to stay visible for a week.
So, like, you go into the shower, you wash your face, you need to apply it straight away.
Mm-hmm.
Even when sleeping. Okay, wow.
Now, is this in a everyday normal week, or is this in a pandemic week? One includes.
I mean, it doesn't matter, probably. But I will tell you that when the pandemic started, the meme where it was that side-eye puppet that said, like, when you find out that other people call your lifestyle quarantine.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Close to home.
What?
Jason,
close to home. I said it hit close to home. Like, I'm a student. I'm a PhD student. I've noticed I go outside more now, which is the wrong way round.
I cannot remember. I feel like the answer is yes. I have worn orange lipstick before. It has happened in my life. Yeah.
Would orange lipstick in any way violate?
Zate's joined again.
Oh, really?
That was so everybody could see outside here.
Oh, cool.
I see Cheerios.
Hi, Oma Groot.
I don't see Cheerios.
That's Anchorage, Alaska. Okay, let me think. Heather, do you like the color orange?
It's not my favorite color.
Okay.
Do you
Does
dislike
your partner
the
like
color
the
orange?
color orange?
It's not like my favorite color is blue. His is red.
Orange is close to red.
Yeah.
Orange. Would this violate any sort of dress code or anything else that could cause you difficulties on a
No.
employment basis?
No, I work for myself, so nobody
It's more strawberry blonde than orange.
have an
It's
opinion
lighting.
that applies.
So I love this question from the chat from Aiden. You're killing it, man. Killing it. Is the lipstick made by grinding Jason's hair into a paste?
Yeah, I just flashed that top.
So what color of orange do I think it is? I wouldn't say Jason's hair is bright orange. I would say bright
I'm
orange.
jealous of my friends that have bright
No, I'm
orange ginger
I'm
hair.
thinking motorsport
Yes.
martial orange.
Wow.
Yeah,
Oh,
that's
that's
orange.
almost the same.
Yeah.
Yeah. That is the orange we all have in mind.
That is the orange hair I would like. I'll just point that out.
Oh, wow.
I hate
What
having this
color are you
middle
with your
road
hair?
stuff.
Mm-hmm.
I'm like a dirty, it's called dirty strawberry blonde, and I'm like, no, I want to be orange. I want to be orange.
Heather,
That's not strawberry blonde.
Heather.
That's better than strawberry
get-
blonde.
you
I get
have
called strawberry
any
blonde.
possible allergies or physical difficulties that you could
No.
predict with strong pigments?
No, I don't think I would be allergic to it or anything.
Would
Okay.
it taste orange?
Say that one more time, Jason.
Would
What?
it taste orange?
Oh,
Says Alton.
I don't
Violence.
picture it tasting orange. I picture it tasting like lipstick.
I mean, I don't see all of Alan Allison's questions as actual questions for the person, but more as jokes, which is why I flashed him up. But then
I mean,
they'll take
it's a
away.
good question.
But correct
because a
me if
lot of
I'm wrong,
people-
Alan Outson, and if they are all genuine questions, then I'm very sorry for
I mean, regardless. I mean, there are people who apply Pepsi flavored chapstick continuously.
Mm.
But if it tastes like something, they're going. It's kind of like an addiction of salts. So
Mhm.
Do you enjoy wearing lipstick usually?
I don't usually wear lipstick. No.
Okay.
oh, that changed my answer.
Okay.
I'm just gonna. I don't know whether
Oh,
you can see. With the amount of times I've played it, you can see that I've got some numbers prepared. I'm just gonna,
Go through
if
your.
it's-
Refolding the same piece of paper or something. Origami.
No, I'm literally just picking a number that's close to my answer. If there's a number here, I'd rather not rewrite it. Only twice have I had to rewrite a number. Oh, write a new number.
Oh dear.
Today being one of those.
Well, never mind. I'll ask this question after. I feel like I'm not going to say it right now, though.
I've got a vague no, actually, I've got a vague idea.
There's a lot of pressure. I'm feeling a lot of pressure.
I have no clue what the
Answer.
score is, so I feel completely pressure free.
Yeah.
Yeah. I know I'm very bad at this, so I'm happy just to guess anything that works.
Okay.
No, it's called being organised. Have you also got a pile of people's names for name-based games for the regulars?
Okay, so the answers are: Chris says you would do it for free. Jason says 500. Molly says 199. And 70?
Yes, 70.
70 for man.
£10 a day.
5,000.
What?
And finally, 250 and a week for Jason. I'm just imagining that Heather dislikes orange a lot more than they're letting on.
I mean, for £6,000, I'll wear bright orange lipstick for a week. I'm just saying. Just
Yeah.
if you want to
Wow.
mail me the £6,000 and the lipstick, I'll just crack on.
How expensive is this lipstick?
I'm like Heather. I'm surprised you don't like orange, but you work for yourself.
Right. But why would I bother doing this? Like, unless I was making
I
money
mean,
for doing
I'm
it.
guessing you have more money than I do then, because for £6,000, I'll wear orange lipstick for a week. Hell, I could take the week
Yeah,
off with £6,000.
okay. Yeah, so I guess
I
that was
took the
that
month
was
off
my.
for £6,000.
Yeah, pretty close actually. Yeah.
So for me, I thought, what would be a really helpful amount of money for me to have? Like this is something I'm willing to do. So what would be a helpful amount of money now? Like,
Okay.
you know, I mean, that's not totally absurd, but you know,
As a logic test, then if I offered you £1,000 right now to wear orange lipstick, you would logically have to turn me down.
oh yeah, and I'm supposed to think of it as like I would be bummed to I wouldn't accept a smaller amount. Is that how I'm supposed to think about
Like
it?
it's kind of
yeah.
like the minimum amount that you would do it for.
Oh, see, that totally changes things.
Yeah, that's how you're playing the game.
Because surely that is the logic of the whole game, is it's your minimum bid,
Yeah,
is
it's
what
all
is the
about
least amount of money required to get you to do a certain
minimum
thing. Not how much money would I like to be given by a stranger tomorrow, which is...
Mhm. I mean, I leaned that
Very
makes
different
more
question.
sense, and so I leaned more that way. Like,
As I say, because rationally the conclusion we must now draw is that if I were to offer you £1,000, you'd be obliged to say no.
and I wouldn't be sad that I was obliged to say no. Yeah, like
Okay, what about £5,000?
£6,000.
Would that make you
What
sad?
about £6,000 and 1 pence, or £5,999?
Yeah.
I mean,
9 pence.
with any amount, once you get into 1 penny less, that kind of, you know, there's always going to be a fluctuation. There's always a
No.
gradient.
No. I would never go for under, even by a penny. It's principle.
Yeah. I think there's an old gag here that runs to the effect of we've established the ethical principle, now we're just haggling over the price.
I mean, I suppose the way that I answer the question is based on that I don't want to do it. I wouldn't do it normally. I don't do random silly things like that normally. And so, yeah, I mean, you'd have to do something to get me to do it, but it's certainly not no money, and it's not $5 million, you know.
We have very different people. I mean, I willingly stripped down into a onesie for a presentation in front of my tutors, and I've worn a dragon hat for a presentation at the Royal Music Association of all things.
I mean, basically, what this tells us is that, for example, Jason and myself are quite ready to do, you know,
Just about anything.
And so basically, if you want to pay someone to do crazy things, get Jason or myself to do it.
I'm reasonably priced. I'd like to enter the market at the reasonably priced. You know, I do a high quality level of silly for reasonable prices.
You're the Tesco's finest selection.
Of silliness, yes. Yeah. There's a slight premium over your sort of your Aldi, but you know.
Alan was prepared to pay me just $1 under 6,000, and I made
a cent.
A cent. A penny.
Or penny, technically.
Well, you basically missed out on all that money, Heather, is what he's saying. You know?
Yeah.
Oh no.
This is actually negotiating. We're basically negotiating you down.
I mean, I wasn't prepared to pay 70 quid, but I figured that might be a reasonable amount.
Is it classed as a donation? Or is it income? So you're going to pay tax on it?
Sure. Well, I think actually. Oh, I didn't.
It's a performance piece, ergo it's income.
All the amounts are just
Yeah.
we are after tax. Like you're not being taxed. That just complicates things too much.
I mean,
in which jurisdiction, Bez? Sorry, I just need to clarify. Which tax under your local jurisdiction, or are we establishing Luxembourg as a common international trade point?
Experimental composer and performer. There's a lot of strange things you wouldn't think people get paid for and taxed for, and they do.
Believe you me, there is nothing too strange that somebody hasn't been paid for it. And there's nothing too strange that the taxman hasn't expected to get paid tax for them being paid for it.
Now we're going into creepy areas.
No, that's just the reality of tax. If they can think of a way you earn money, they'll tax you on it. There are no exemptions for it being weird.
I was thinking of the cannibalism.
Al Capone got busted for tax evasion, not for bootlegging.
So, we're going to finish up there, and that means that Heather wins. With a massive 3 points.
3 points?
Wow.
3 points.
That's not bad out of 6.
Out of, I think out of 6. Yeah, you're right. Heather got it correct half the time.
Wow.
Is that correct?
Zate. We forgot about Zate.
Yeah, out of 6 because Sates was the 7th, so Heather only had.
You can't get a point for your own guess.
And
the
second
maximum score is n-1.
was Molly and Odin with 2.
I had one, right?
I had two.
Oh,
Because nobody guessed mine.
No, I think I did. Well, I wrote. I might have recorded the scores wrong, but I thought
Oh,
you.
no, I'm sorry. I forgot. I did get closest on the first one, I think, for yours, Bez. And I remember that I got a no amount. I'm sorry. I totally
Yes, you got a point off me.
I was undervaluing my own abilities.
There you go.
Aw.
So you
Been
see,
there,
Molly,
been
you
there.
are an almost winner.
Woo!
Yeah, Molly!
Let me shake your
I mean,
hand.
we've already celebrated Heather enough. Sorry, Heather. Tonight's Molly's night.
Yay, Heather!
thank you, thank you. I find it hilarious that I keep winning the party games, and I am not trying to.
No, yeah, just rub it in. Just
You may be under the impression the rest of us are.
It just sort of happened.
I mean, I'm not invested in winning, I guess. I'm trying to play according to the rules in the right spirit, and that's really all I'm doing. But
Well, I mean, that's
I'm
it.
good at
I mean,
beating you.
that's the nature of a good party game.
Yeah.
I mean, we do have a couple of comments from Alan, who's, I think earlier was saying, what's to stop the person whose turn it is from just saying something absurd and mess everyone up? And I think the truth is that there's nothing to stop that. It's just that they're not really gaining anything because it's not as if they're not gaining anything by doing that, are they?
No, not really.
So there's no incentive.
We have an echo
Is
that
Echo. Sorry,
Echo.
It's my penguin.
Penguin!
And his sidekick, the hedgehog.
No, that's not a hedgehog. That's a negnog.
No!
It's a negnog.
Now,
Does that mean I can put away all my slips?
I hope everyone enjoyed that, and if I could ask everyone who would like to do so to talk about recent highlights, living life and seeing the sights, recent highlights. I'm going to say that my recent highlight is having some ham that a friend of my housemate brought. It was very tasty ham. It was prosciutto ham. And also going to the post office, just getting a little bit of work done and feeling, I've not been to the post office in over a week. And today I posted the stuff that I had to post. Yay for me.
I'll make note of that for our next meeting.
Yeah, I didn't have to go to the post.
I'm teasing.
So, other people, recent highlights?
I have to run away. I apologize, but I've stretched my 10 minutes extra to 3 times that. So it's been lovely to meet everybody I haven't met before. So
thank you
Molly.
so much, and I hope you have a wonderful night.
Bye.
thank you very much.
Take
Nice
care.
to see you all, and I will see you all again. Bye.
Bye-bye.
Great, he's gone. We can say anything bad about him, right?
He made
Have
so
you
many
seen
liar
that
jokes.
Andrew Dennison only has 2 eyes?
Yeah, it's not like us 4 eyes.
No, I mean, what he really wants is to go through life with like 32 eyes, right?
I mean,
Yes.
I wouldn't mind having some replacement body parts, for later on. But if they're all growing
I mean,
at the
like a
same
mechanical-
time,
It'd be like a mechanical arm.
yeah.
But yeah, so recent highlights, living life and seeing the sights, recent highlights. Who else has got the recent highlights? Molly?
Yeah.
Well, that was just my penguin dancing to you. I
Oh,
don't
sorry.
We're
So
going in order.
Yeah, sure.
Chris?
Yeah, no, I had a great time at UKGE and Nun Pub, both events happening this recent weekend. I appreciated that they were on 2 different time zones, so I was able to join both of them for at least some portion of the day. And, play tested some games, had a lot of fun, met up with some designers, and watched some demos and all the stuff you do at a virtual con,
Yeah. I mean, I'm going to cheat and say I've had 2 recent highlights. One was UKGE and winning Yogi Stock Guru. Yes! I
Nice.
can't believe I won it. I was in so much pain. but it was fun. I will go in pain for Yogi because it's a different kind of pain. It's pushing your limits to. You're like that. You're like that. But a very recent highlight is today. Not only did I have a first physical music theory lesson with one of my students, I then took the opportunity to drop off some costume that I recently bulk brought to a friend who didn't live much further from that, and was invited for a nice cup of tea and a chat, which I haven't had a random tea and chat since, well, certainly not 2020.
Wow.
Yeah, it was quite nice. I got to meet their cat. Whose name I can't remember. It was a beautiful white cat. Very, very silly and very uncoordinated, but very friendly. Like, would try to jump on top of my leg, miss it.
Oh, for a cat, that's
Yeah.
I'm not sure.
Relaxing on the
wearing an alien or cat disguise or something.
Possibly stretched out on the chair and fell head first on the floor. It was fine, but it was just like, I just felt like, yeah, you are so uncoordinated, more coordinated than I am.
It's hard to imagine a cat being that uncoordinated. Yeah.
Yeah.
Heather, did you say the cat? Oh, sorry.
So go.
Did you say the cat was wearing an alien disguise?
I said it sounds like an alien wearing a cat disguise more than it sounds like a cat.
This is how you cat, right?
It's like it's an alien that's trying to convince us it's a cat, but it doesn't really know how.
So like Third Rock from the Sun, cat edition.
Yes. Exactly.
Oh, I missed that show. That was a good show. I missed that kind of comedy.
Okay.
All right. So I'll go since I'm next in order. So I was thinking about something that actually brought me pain, which I'm still in, but I gotta mention it anyway. So Sunday was day 13 of my 14-day quarantine in Alaska. Since I moved here for a little over a month, I had a 14-day post-plane quarantine. And please don't tell that I did break it on Sunday to go hiking. I have been going outdoor exercising. It is my first time actually hiking in a mountain with my friend Ari, who I'm here to visit. And let me just say that those were some steep freaking mountains, and my thighs are still hurting. Wow. But I guess like highlight is just like getting out, and I love this house. It's great to have a house to myself right now, but like what I needed to get out. So that was one.
I have to agree. Getting out is a weird thing. I mean, just walking from my friend's door down a couple of roads to go to the car was the longest I've walked.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
And I guess work-wise, I mean, it's like an intense. There's a lot happening with work. I'd say like the far and away least stressful and most fun thing probably in life right now with my company, with my job, is these series of interviews I'm doing with entrepreneurs on flying leaps or big risks they've taken in business, since we're flying these games and like wild risk taking and, you know, creating crazy stories with our lifestyle is kind of part of our DNA. And so hearing, you know, friends and people in my network, colleagues, talk about their crazy entrepreneurial stories has been fun for me, getting to know them. And eventually, like, I'm working with an editor, and we'll eventually like be posting this all as a series before our new game, which is about entrepreneurship. And I'm just like really excited. Like right now is like the fun part, like just getting the material together and doing interviews. I really enjoy the personal connection. And I did 4 last week, which was exciting. So.
Nice. I don't think I'll go that far for a friend. I'm sorry. I love all my friends, but I wouldn't hike.
We hiked for almost 4 hours, and he often does all-day hikes. Yeah, it was intense, guys. I can show you some pictures.
Oh, my thighs are hurting just thinking about that.
Yeah. I have to do some serious stretching to like ease the tension.
All right. Well, I also was at Nun Pub all weekend, and I guess I didn't count up, but I think I got to play test about 20 games.
Wow.
Let me see. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19. Almost 20 games.
Was that UKGE,
Nice.
did you say?
No, none
No.
pub.
This is a
Oh,
thing
no.
that was scheduled for the same weekend as
Mhm.
Virtually Expo, which
Okay,
slightly surprised me because
Yeah.
when I think was it Heather O'Neill who's it was running it, or
She was one of the people involved. There were, I don't know who spearheaded it. There were like 5 people that they always put on the sign off, you know.
I mean, I
so
would have thought that they would have done it, I don't know, the weekend
Mhm.
after, or
I mean, the thinking there is, I mean, Collectomania and UKG are known to be on the same weekend. And if I suppose the idea it's been virtual, you can hop in and out of sessions much easier than walking through the hall. It takes you an hour to get through that hall at peak times. If you're not confident, I mean, normally if I'm in a bed's t-shirt on red, I can go, I've got to go work. Can you let me through? So I can be a bit more assertive, but most of the time I'm not. Like, if I'm in heels, I will use the excuse, I need to go sit down, let me through. And that tends to work. Or I just stumble past them because I can afford him. But, yeah. I mean, I actually enjoyed the fact that I could... Sorry, I didn't mean to steal the limelight there, Heather, but with virtual expos I managed to get my husband to an event that he wouldn't normally go to because he doesn't like big crowds.
Right.
I actually got him to watch The Dark Room with I don't know whether you know about The Dark Room. It's John Robinson, I think his surname is. It's like a decide your own adventure, you know, like Zork and things like that. But live and in person, it normally is. It's just hilarious. He never thought that he was going to be that absurd, and my husband that is, and he was in hysterics, and it was like, great, I need this more. I need more virtual stuff.
Yeah.
To be able to share, yeah.
And
My
you can
feeling about
interact.
the two at the same time was that, I could go to both, but I feel overwhelmed by that. Just,
I mean,
it's already pretty.
I was working.
honestly, like even going to like one convention solidly virtually, like I found it a lot more tiring than going. I found, for example, Virtually Expo on its own, or indeed Protospiel Online. Nothing against Protospiel Online or anything to do with how it was run, but just by the nature of virtual conventions, I find that a lot more tiring than going to UK Games Expo or Essen or anything like that.
Well, it's a different kind of being on that you have
Yeah.
to do. And it's a different kind of organizing yourself. Like, you have to look in different places. Usually, I know that in the case of anything, it's more than one platform. It's like where you need to check your email, how you talk to people verbally, whether or not there's a video stream somewhere, where the list is somewhere in Google Sheets or documents that has the rules and instructions. Like, it's pretty complicated no matter what you go to.
And as much as I enjoyed, I mean, I work with you guys over the weekends and a lot of this streams. As much as I do enjoy them, I especially because that's not the premise of me enjoying it, by the way. There is a very different energy. I have to say, when I'm at UKG or when I've done Essen, there's another adrenaline feeling. It feels like a performance, similar to a performance for me. It's a similar energy. And you're kind of going, yeah, I can do this. Yeah. I mean, I'd rather not sit down all weekend. I probably should, unless I'm demoing, because if I do, that's my energy level's gone. Whereas when virtual convention, I suppose for me, I felt lucky that I was part of events and hosting, because then I could keep that energy level, force that energy level up. Yeah. Whereas if you're just sitting or you have to get a break, it's a strange beast, and I think it's great, but it's a strange beast.
You're saying if you were just sitting, like if you were participating in things but not running them, that would be hard?
Yeah.
Got it.
I don't think I would have the same adrenaline rush. I mean, I love playing with my friends online, D&D, but I would much rather go back in person. It's a whole level. Even as I would call myself a very much introvert with performance extrovert. But there's something about in the games that I mean, Yogi, for example, is a great one to play in person. but then I do enjoy these streets because it doesn't. I think it's to do with the connection with the people.
Yeah.
I feel like
Yeah, we're taking this
yeah,
street to another level.
there's a really valid point that's being made here, and I think that we all feel it. Like there is a difference, and I'm not going to myself go on like that's something that
It could be a ball game
I'm
level.
going to move us on a little bit if we do want to get to the final game. It shouldn't be too long, because I do want to ask everyone, do you need to head off? Because Q4U, it should be about, let's say, 8 minutes to play. It's quite a quick thing.
So for us, half an hour.
There's
Yeah, I was actually I can stay on for about 10 or 15 more minutes, but then I would need to jump off. So maybe just the first
Yeah,
round.
I'll
Let's keep it-
probably
let's
need
keep it-
to
we can do
because I need to reach some people before 5 o'clock East Coast. It's only about 12:45 here, but I need to reach people before the end of the day on the East Coast, ideally, if I can. It's
so
okay.
I just want.
Yeah.
So this game is likely to take about, let's say, 10-15 minutes. If it's taking 10-15 minutes, is anyone
Okay.
happy to stay?
Yeah.
Yeah,
Let's do 10 or 15 minutes.
I may leave early. I'm not sure yet. I'm gonna
Okay.
hear I want to hear what it's about though, for sure.
Let's us
Okay.
go in the private chats. If you need to leave early, just let me know. I don't want to take that
Yeah.
away from people. We only need like 2 people to have a good time with this. So
Okay, I'll
Q
go.
for you is Q for you. Q for you. This is a game that's mildly new because there's always changes to it. So Q for you is a game by Isaac Shalev that I have changed substantially, let's say. So ignore everything that you knew about it, Chris.
Okay.
So it's still got the same basic things. You are going to have, you're going to give creative answers to various prompts. The prompts might be, for example, what makes a good pizza topping? And so you might say pineapples, and then someone else might say, hey, that's not true. And then you might say, well, it is totally true. Or you might say shards of metal, in which case I think everyone else would kind of say, yeah, that's not cool. There's a group vote if we disagree with your thing. You get 1 point for every letter in your answer. So you don't want to give just a short answer, you want to give quite a long answer. But firstly, if it's above 20, it's capped at 20. So 20 is the maximum number of letters that you can count for. It can go above 20 letters, but you only score 20 points. Secondly, if you have the longest, if you have the unique longest, then you score nothing. Does that make sense?
If you tie for longest, you're both okay, though.
Correct.
All right.
Now, the second
Okay,
bit is that, and I will just say that these are the letters for the first round. So these are letters that would normally be cards. For every one of these that you use in the word, you get 4 bonus points.
So it has to be a single word, or does it?
No.
Be
It
afraid.
has to be like an answer. I could say, if it was a pizza topping, I would say my mother on more wine would be a really good pizza topping. And I think that people who say that my mother on more wine is not a good pizza topping, then they would probably be right. And I would get 0 points for that round because
Right.
But you get what I mean. That's the game.
You don't have to do it in that order, though. The way that example you just gave made it seem like you were trying to get.
Oh no, I could
Yeah,
say
okay.
I could
That
say
has
something
nothing to
else
do
in
with
any order. I'm not going to
Okay.
try to give another example.
Mhm.
But is
But the
everyone
letters have
clear
to be in
on the
that
rules?
order. So the letters have to be in that order. So you can't say N-O. You
No.
have to have a word with
Right.
O-N.
Correct.
Yeah,
You
well,
can't
TH and then
no.
ER.
Yeah.
But
Not
that's
HT
like
or
5
RE.
Imagine those are 5 separate cards,
Cards. So the
which I've just
cards
put
in any
up,
order,
and
the
then
letters in the
those,
same order. Okay.
sometimes it's a
All right.
complicated letter like W, sometimes it's okay, TH. There's a lot of words that have, And we've got a question, clear as mud on my pizza.
Oh.
And the spaces don't count, only the letters, right?
Oh, yeah.
Correct.
Okay.
Now, I picked up my phone because I need to use it as a timer. I'm sorry you're not going to get to see the timer. I will sort of try to keep it held up as much as I can. So you'll kind
So
of
we have
see it in the corner of the screen.
Do we have to say? So do we have to say this out loud? Or do we
No, you
write
have
it
to
down?
write it.
Write
Oh,
it,
that's
yeah.
really paid for my hypermobility, but yeah, okay.
Sorry. So, Molly, are you playing?
Can I type it in
I
the
will
private?
try to stay on.
Yeah, private.
Sorry,
chat.
say that again.
I will try to stay on.
Okay. Cool. So the first question, someone pick a number between 1 and 5.
4.
4. Okay. It is something you might see. It's not something you're likely to see, I should point out. It's something you might see in a pond.
And what are the letters?
There.
Okay.
Sorry. Okay.
Wait, are these the letters down below?
Yeah, so
Try to use as many of them
I'll
as you
cancel
can
this
for
for
the
the moment.
point.
So try to use as many of these. If you like, what's the word for 2 letters in a row? Diphthongs?
Consecutive.
Basically, try to use THN for a bonus 4, ER for a bonus 4, and so forth.
Okay.
So, what might you find in a pond?
And it's not the letters could the letters be just like or? Like it could be one word or?
Yes.
Okay.
Right.
Ah.
Okay. So that's the end of the time limit.
Cool.
I need new paper for each one.
Oh no!
So I said that something you might find in a pond is weather, which is being reflected on, as in. Yeah.
Okay. Whether
I think I might be playing this game slightly wrong then, because I've got a different style answer. Let me know if I'm wrong, and then I know for next round.
Just
The reflection.
basic.
Okay. Jason?
Because I have... The pond could contain multiple water-based life, sometimes frogs, sometimes
Oh my
fish, or
God.
tadpoles, for example. And I think I've got every single one in there.
Okay, I believe you.
Is that allowed?
it's allowed, but
It is
not.
absolutely allowed, but you're quite possibly going to score nothing for having the longest.
Yeah, I think I misunderstood the rules.
I thought you wanted to have the longest too.
Yeah.
The orange water flower.
The orange water flower.
You made that up.
That's good.
Yeah. So, Molly, did you think you the same thing, that you wanted the longest?
I thought you wanted it to be longest. I wrote things smothered on the corner with cheese.
So I lose anyway.
Oh,
I love cheese. It's one of my favorite things, actually. So I had to include cheese in there.
okay. And
But I have
Alan, if you've
I
got
have everyone
anything,
in
let
there.
us know.
I have... Yeah.
Okay, I'm just going
That's
to...
how you learn.
I'm just
the
impressed.
learning round.
I'm just impressed I managed to get all of them in there.
I-
But I probably lost point.
Heather.
Because I have...
Molly will get 20 because 20 is the max you can get, and you have over 20 letters.
Yeah.
And Jason
Yeah,
is longer.
But is it? But
So
okay,
that's
but
how it
it's the person with the most letters that doesn't score any points for
Right.
their answer.
Right.
Not
Yeah.
it's capped down to 20, and then you compare. Otherwise, everyone could just go all
Yeah.
20, and then
Correct.
I
Nice
completely
try,
misunderstood.
Jason.
Otherwise, I would have... Otherwise, I probably would...
it's okay.
yeah.
So it's
And
4
Alan
points
Allison
per.
has dragonflies or other flies. That's such a lovely poetic answer.
Mm-hmm.
So what you...
Dragonflies or other flies. So If everyone could tell me.
0, or is it?
Well, that was good, Alan.
So Jason's score is under the current rules is scored 0.
Under the current rules. I want to attest those rules.
It's possible that are wrong, but I mean, do you think it would make more sense to half them or something?
Well, I think no points for the string of letters, like the 20 points are out, but potentially the points that you get for making the combos of the letters, you should still get.
Yeah. I think you should get a 20 points for letters, and then for each one you've individually gotten in the thing, an additional 1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
Oh. Yeah, so
What was that idea again?
So you'd get, for the second shortest answer, you would get the points. 20, you know. I think
that's what mine
the first one.
That's what mine
which would be yours, Molly. But if anyone who's managed to get, you get a point for each letter you've got in, not multiple times, once.
Right.
Yeah.
So if you've managed to get in, I could still be losing.
Oh yeah, you only get
but I would be
CH1.
0.
Yeah, you can only get each of them.
Let's do what I think Heather was suggesting, which is let's score all the 5 things. So Alan's managed to get 4 of them.
I got 3.
R-O-R-O-N and not W.
Because I misunderstood the game.
3,
I would
which
have very
is
differently.
12. Jason, you managed to get all of them, which was 20.
You can double check. I mean, I'm not saying this. I'm just saying it would have been playing very differently had I not misinterpreted the rules.
Sure. Heather, how many did?
I think it's 20 letters, and I think I got all 4.
There's 5.
Wait.
I don't understand. What's the 20-letter rule? Maybe I missed that earlier.
Yeah.
Oh, no.
So first, you were just looking. Did you get CH? Did you get ER? Did you get ON? Did you get OR? Did you get W? Molly, you got all of them?
I got all of them, yeah.
I got 4 of them.
OR and
Heather got
W.
4, and I got W, T,
There you go.
ER.
I underlined and triple checked.
On. I missed one, so I got 16.
Okay.
And
so, in the next round, how are we playing it? So I know how to answer, because I could play it like this.
So now,
try to play the
what happens is now we tell how many letters did you have in your full thing.
Oh,
so right. I had 18.
Too many.
You'd have to count all of them up. I mean,
13. Well, if it's more than 20, then you could just say 20.
Yeah.
Yeah, 13.
At 20.
30.
You had
5, 6, 7,
36 from Molly.
12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 22, 23, 24.
You don't have to bother counting, Jason. We know you were the moon.
I'm curious.
Oh. 36 letters. You had 36 letters, Molly, right?
Yeah.
So your score is going to be 40 if you got all 5.
The points.
My score is what again?
40. Because the most you can get for the letters that are in your sentence is 20.
Okay.
And you also got 5 pairs, but you get 4 points for each of those.
So this is how it works. So you get this many points for having the pairs or single letters, and you get this many points for the string of letters. But if you had the most, then you get nothing.
Okay. So you want at least 20 letters? Is that the idea?
Well, 20 letters scores you more points, but if you are the only person who went to 20, then you would go bust.
Okay, I get it.
Like it says, if you have the longest answer, you will go bust.
Yeah, I've got 86. Because if that's how the game is played, and the longest answer, that kind of stuff, don't play with academics. We could string out one word into multiple paragraphs.
That was never the way that the game's played.
I know.
And we were trying to
I misheard.
play a TV game for...
okay.
All right.
We need to skedaddle.
Next round, maybe?
Pardon?
Next round? Or,
So something you enjoyed recently
Okay.
with
X.
these letters.
Oh.
We're all ready. I'm going to start the timer.
I'm going to have a smaller bit of paper to stop me from doing that.
I'll put it up to 120 this time.
Okay.
Okay, something you've enjoyed recently. Okay, what's a thing you've enjoyed recently?
I can't think of anything with those letters in. Ah.
Okay.
No. I'm going to keep it like that. Like that hasn't got all of them in at all.
I'm done.
Okay.
What's it something you've enjoyed recently?
Yeah, I've only got 2 in. I can't think of it.
Okay.
Yeah,
So
I've only got 2 in.
Chris, you look. Oh, Heather looks ready. So, I can't quite read that. Steak charred on the grill.
Oh my God!
Did I misspell anything?
That would be tomorrow for me. Okay, tomorrow.
Nice.
So no.
And Chris has grilled Texas steak.
Wow.
Yeah.
Nice.
My mind to your mind. My thoughts to your thoughts.
And Jason has.
I have only exciting L. I was trying to think.
What's exciting L? As in because of the L games, yes, recently.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
Yes.
Oh man, I might be the longest. What have you got, Molly?
Telling about grand xylophone bards.
Ooh,
So, being
enjoyed...
that some of us are British on the call, I decided that bards made sense here. And the idea is that a xylophone bard is someone who tells stories with a xylophone.
Bards aren't necessarily to do stories.
So is this something that happened recently in your life? You were playing D&D or something?
No, I just made it up. Yeah.
Okay.
I didn't even think about actually.
Hang on, isn't there a rule? It has to be real.
I didn't even think about actually
you have,
anything that happened.
You have to have had.
Plausible, not necessarily from personal experience, is how we've played it in the past as.
Okay.
I mean, we've kind of said in the past that it has to be something that people have kind of experienced, but
I can do mine over again. I was trying to I had to multitask so that I could stay on and realize that I just kind of jumped in and tried to use all the words. So I'll do it over.
For example, once Bez said something she liked to eat recently was something about earwax, and we all BS and voted it down.
Yeah, and it's true, it was.
Yeah.
Alan has, for example, said they enjoy grated hard cheese, which I am absolutely going to believe.
I
just thought.
Okay, what's your new one?
Telling about grand examples of hard hikes. That was easy.
There.
Perfect.
Still really long, but yeah, it's good.
Now, my question is, this isn't the one I'm going to pitch in, but I'm going to, because I've already pitched in. I wouldn't be able to use all of these. Would I say, for example, a greatly exciting television show with a TARDIS? Because how would you? I missed the double L, but
the TARDIS.
I didn't say that, and I suddenly realised that RD.
It works, yeah.
My brain, it's like an exam. My brain just goes blank.
For those who've just tuned in, hello. We are playing Q4U, which you can read a little description of on the bottom. And my example of something that I have enjoyed recently is exercising, tennis balls, garden, grass.
Okay.
Nice.
I like to believe I painted a little picture there.
Yeah, it was very poetic.
Excellent.
So, if we can go in any order, just tell me how many of the actual letters you've used.
4.
Chris used 4 for 16. Jason used 2 for 8.
I'm trying to avoid sentences, but
4.
4 for Molly is 16.
All of them.
Oh, wait, sorry.
Nice.
Molly used 20. Was that Heather who said 4?
Yes.
Sorry.
Although to be fair, I took the word example from you, Heather. As soon as you said, I was like, oh, example, because the first thing I thought of the party was X.
Alan got 3 of them for 12, and I managed to get all of them for 20. Now comes the real thing. So these silly examples that we had, how many letters are there?
17.
11.
Oh, 20.
11.
That's
32.
You're shorter than my first answer. That's for sure.
Oh,
yes, definitely.
How long was yours, Molly?
35, baby, 35.
Ooh.
I know I'm annoyed. It was just because it was time. I actually didn't have as much time as I would have liked, just because of having to do a little multitasking.
Yeah,
It's
something
okay.
happens when you're put on the spot and the timer happens. Like words. What are words?
Yeah.
Okay, so, sorry, Chris, could you repeat length?
17.
Jason?
11.
Heather?
20.
Oh, nice. Right on the money.
20 letters? Wait, what was yours again, Heather?
Steak charred on the grill.
Ah, just like the grilled Texas steak. Yeah.
I like how our minds both went to Texas. We must have seen the X and the TE.
Oh, I didn't say Texas. I
Oh
didn't.
no, okay. The steak part. I saw the TE and
Yeah.
X and thought Texas.
TE
Okay.
made me think of steak. I mean, it's true. Recently,
I have a disadvantage that I'm not eating meat. Don't eat meat. I'm just saying that was a disadvantage, clearly. In this round.
Well, that just means there's a world of foods you do eat that most of us don't. Maybe. IDK.
I do eat a lot of interesting foods. I make my own seitan, actually. So that takes care of the T and E. No, it doesn't.
Nice.
Actually, never mind. No, it doesn't. By the way, I don't know about y'all, but like I think in order. So I was like, I think in the order of them. So I was actually trying to do them in order. Thought I hadn't gotten the telling, and then realized that TE was my first word, but it was for that double L.
Right.
Yeah.
Like very chronologically.
Okay.
So,
Do you need to take off now?
Me?
Chris said he had to stay.
Yeah, I should go. It's about time for dinner here. I think I get 17 for there plus the 4 bonus ones so 33 for that round.
but it's been good having you, and I hope you had a good
I had a
time.
blast. You guys are you are all amazing, and I look forward to playing more games with you in the future.
Stay funky and see you soon. If
Take
you
care,
wish,
guys.
on the way out, you can tell us something you're looking forward to, or just
Yes,
get that.
I am looking forward to playtesting on Thursday night with the virtual playtesting group. Beyond that, I'm kind of looking forward to just going for walks and seeing a bit more of the city. It feels like I've kind of branched out in a lot of different directions, but sometimes you look at the map and you go, wait, there's a park like a kilometer away I haven't been to before? I need to go. So, things like that.
Cool.
So, take care, guys.
Hey,
Bye.
are we winding down then, or are we having one more round?
It's up to other people. There should be 2 more rounds.
Yeah, I'm gonna get going because I feel like I stayed well past what I thought I was not well past. I stayed a little past what I thought I was going to because it was fun and I wanted to be able to play. So I'm like,
Well,
forget it. I decided to skip a little work, but I should go now for real.
I hope you had fun, and if you have any feedback on Q4U, it's basically exactly the same 2 more times.
Mhm.
Yeah, it was fun. I'd have to think about it more. So I didn't know if you meant feedback to you or to the person directly. I can give it to you sometime.
Awesome. Well, yeah, that would be great, and I hope to see you again at some point in the not too distant future.
I hope so too. Thanks for having me, Bez. I hope to come again. We'll.
Thank you. It's lovely to kind of, hang out a wee bit more, because we hung out, I think, on one of the Board Game Broads live streams way back, and I think that's like the only other time that we've I was chatting with
you about my game life last fall. Was it last fall? Winter.
Yeah, I was chatting to you on my Board Games with Bez. But wow, that seems so long ago.
It does, and also we had like tech issues for an hour straight, I think. So yeah.
So the average stream.
The awkward stream, yeah.
It was the average. It was the way
the average,
right?
I feel like paper might be covering my mic because I realized.
No, it's okay.
It's all good. But it's lovely to have you, Molly. Is there something you wish to share that you're looking forward to, or?
That's tough.
Don't worry about it.
About to jump into hard work. What? Oh,
another hike.
Getting my negative test results back so I can actually cook in my friend's house here, and also just go into his sister's house and cook. I mean, just doing things inside in other places will be nice again. So as soon as I get that tested, so I'm looking forward to being free, baby.
Yeah. Yeah. Enjoy Alaska. That's pretty cool.
I'm sorry, we're British. We don't understand what free means.
Oh, stop. Well, I hope to see you all again on the next time, okay?
Look forward to seeing you again.
Cool. Bye, guys.
Bye.
Bye.
Okay,
I'm thinking it might be good to start winding down then if there's...
Only 3 of us?
And it's already past 10. Do you normally...
Yeah, we maybe should have started with the shorter one. I don't know.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, well.
Well, it was longer because there were more people.
Yeah.
That's the thing about, I guess that's a piece of feedback about that game, How Much Money,
yeah.
is that the more people are, like, how do you control how long the conversation, the stream of questions go? Do you need to control that, I guess, is the other question. Do you need to control the length of each person's turn? Maybe in some situations, yes, and in some, no. Like on a stream, when, we have a block of time to do this, and we're trying to do about half one game and half another, maybe there is a reason to put boundaries on it, but...
Yeah.
I mean, I once played a game of Cards Against Humanity that went on for about 8 hours, so...
I mean, I would not choose to play that game for...
Now I wouldn't. I have learned about the people behind it now and have very, very strong opinions.
Regardless of who made it, just based on what the game is and the kind of... I feel... Let's not get into...
No, but I'm just saying, it was mutual thing. We just kept going and going and going, and it was I don't think it was much about the game. I think it was just for us, for our group of friends I had, with the sense here we were chatting, we were having a laugh, and it just got sillier and sillier and sillier, and it was a great day actually. It was absolutely fantastic. So I think it was less about the game itself. I think it was more the environment. So I've had party games that have gone on for a very long time. And not forced either.
I think that's the nature of a party game. And so, yeah, with that every turn, okay, you could stop it after any of these turns. I mean, sure, it might be a bit unfair or feel slightly wrong if we didn't get through everybody. But once we'd gotten through everybody, we could have gone another half round. And, if we were just in a house, together and everyone was having fun, but then wanting to go off and do something else, okay, some people can leave, some people can come back. Maybe it's an actual boxed party game where you give point chips or something. I don't know, but
I think for
That's a
myself, that's kind of one of the reasons I don't like party games is that I don't know when it's going to end. I guess, and I guess maybe this is something that is a limiting belief or whatever for me. So if I'm not having fun, I should just stop. But I feel obligated to finish, and when there's no out, that makes me uncomfortable. When I am taught a game and I'm not told at the beginning like how long it's going to go on.
Just to say bye to Alan and thank you for joining us.
Yes.
I get that with conversation. I find it very difficult to finish a conversation. I don't know how to stop it, when to stop it, what the rules are. Am I being rude? Am I being rude by prolonging it? It just, I get that feeling. This is probably why I like D&D. It's up to someone else to finish it. They may decide that after that boss there's something else, or they can let it just die a natural death. So we've had games that we just continued and then it just fizzed away, and none of us felt sad about it. We started a new game. So it's I do get that. I get that. It's a squirmy feeling. I'd say.
For sure. There's something nice about having, okay, this is exactly how it's going to finish. Once it's 5 rounds, the game ends. Or, obviously every party game's different. And if you say, okay, we'll go round, I guess in future, maybe, I think your point, Heather, is quite spot on. That, if I did really want to play this other game and within that block of time, then probably I should have been a little bit more on point, but there's always you want to let people have fun, obviously. That's what it's about. And so I think that we will probably come back to Q4U next week. We'll maybe play a few rounds of that. If you or anyone else has feedback on it, then please let me know. I'm not going to force you to stay longer, knowing that you do have work to get into.
I don't have as I said, no boss to tell me what to do. So I can do what I want.
But you have that kind of element of you want to skedaddle, and Jason wants to skedaddle, but I assume. Oh well.
I just felt it felt natural. That's what I was saying.
Most of us are gone now, so.
Would you, in that case, how did you feel about the current the rules of the game as presented today for Q4U?
Me.
Yeah, that's good.
Me or Heather?
Heather.
The only piece of feedback I have, because I played it before, is I think I want 30 more seconds to think. I felt just a little bit too rushed. Like I didn't have enough time to count my letter and decide if I wanted to edit it or whatever. Yeah.
You really wanted maybe 90 seconds per turn.
Yeah. I think it's fair to, I think it should be timed, but just a little bit less pressure, I think, would have been nice.
Yeah, that's a good shout. I mean, yeah, it's going to come down to who makes those kind of breaks, but I guess you play a number of rounds, whatever you feel at the start. 4 rounds seems suitable. And then hopefully But do you have any other pointers or anything?
No, I think the letter pairs were good. I mean, I miss the trying to get a set of letters. I thought that was fun about it. In the very first version that was presented here, I enjoyed that and miss it, but it's really pretty much a totally different game without the trying to get everything in the alphabet, or it's like a variant. It's like in the same family, but it's a different game.
Yeah, I get what you mean. I mean, it felt like that was... We both wanted to simplify it, if you know what I mean. And we both felt like, trying to make it take out something. And it felt like that bit was the bit that maybe was least the core of it. But no, it might be that that's kind of a completely different game. I don't know.
Oh, well, I guess actually, if your set of cards kind of ended up giving you the whole alphabet. Maybe it is kind of the same thing. It's just you don't have the freedom to, this time I'm going to use the weird J and Q, and like later I'm going to use the, Is the deck set up that way so that you do basically end up getting alphabet soup?
It doesn't actually have every single letter.
Okay.
It was just kind of, to be honest, it was just a bunch of awkward letters and a bunch of somewhat common strings of letters, if you know what I mean. Because having to use those strings of letters felt kind of different to other games out there.
I agree with that. I like the strings of letters.
Cool.
I just missed the collecting the alphabet. That was a bit compelling to me the first time I played it.
Yeah, maybe that could be like an advanced mode or an expansion or something almost.
Maybe.
Do you have any quick thoughts, Jason?
Well, I do like the challenge of trying to find not necessarily the longest, but definitely not necessarily the shortest answer. That when I figured that was what I was trying to do, it was great fun. On the other hand, my accidental mishearing, I had great fun trying to fit it all in a long sentence, and make it a reasonable sentence, not just a gobbledygook. Not still make sense, but then it still had to make sense and be realistic, and I like that. But again, I feel like, I think Heather said, we're thinking of things that could be potentially another game entirely, or another version that could be could be supplied with it. That's the word I'm looking for. Yeah, word games are not best for me past 9 o'clock, I've discovered. But, you know, I do. I mean, I know I completely misheard it, but I really enjoyed, and the success of getting those words in and it being a proper sentence.
You want to give that sentence one more time just to revel in it?
Oh yeah, I'm going to revel. I've got a big ego. So the pond can contain multiple water-based life forms. I should have said forms, but that's my writing. Based life. Sometimes frogs, sometimes fish, or tadpoles, for example. So it feels like it's going to start. Yeah. I could have went well. If I started with well, I thought, well, that feels a bit cheating. That's why I didn't go well. The pond can contain. Because it wasn't creative enough. I felt. Yeah, I think there's definitely a game in my mishearing of the rules, but I'm not the one to write the game. I'm not a games developer for reasons.
It could almost be like a writing prompt game.
Yeah.
Like 4 writers.
Yeah, I didn't. No, I know him. Can't remember his name. I'm really bad with names.
Doesn't matter, but what happens with them?
Didn't Durek have a writing prompt style game?
Oh yeah,
different.
Props.
Props, yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
I've managed to play it, which I really want to play, but
it
doesn't seem like a game that
something that doesn't really work on this format. We would have to use like Tabletopia or something, and I want to kind of avoid that just because it feels like it takes away a little bit when you focus on that screen rather than the other people on the screen.
Yeah, I mean, I quite like the idea of writing prompts. I mean, for my biased reasons of why I like Fable and Phrasal and Giftable, because you kind of, even with Phrasals, it's almost like a short 4-word story for me. You know, there's something creative about it. And I like the fact that if you play with an academic, the chances are they're going to whoop your backside with it. There's not many games where I can say that, except for knowledge-based games, which I'm not very good at general knowledge or specific knowledge at that.
So as we wrap up, I mean, I think this is something that I started doing at the end of, I think, the daily streams, which again, I need to credit Heather, because he pointed me to Pat Flynn's thing, the income stream. And I don't know why you mentioned it, but...
You were trying to get yourself to get up at a regular time. And so I told you to come to them. And then you were like, no, I'll be on instead.
But that's like really late at my
Oh,
time.
that's true. No, maybe I actually did say. Even Pat says he's running those so that he gets up at the same time because he has the accountability to have like a work start time. So you were like staying up super late and frustrated with yourself, like wanting to have a more normal sleep schedule. I think that's why I suggested it.
No, it works really well. And for a while, I mean, I would in a way like to start getting up even earlier because I found that it's around this time that I start, feeling okay. I'm probably going to have a wee bit of a walk around the block, talk to my friend Betsy after this, and then brush my teeth and then go to bed. But I don't know, I feel like lockdown has taught me something that I always thought I was a night person, but I'm not. I think it's just because of, so many things happen socially at night. Do you know what I mean? I kind of kept that buzz going. So it was like, although having said that, it's not like I'm currently very much a morning person either. Maybe it's just that really what dictates me wanting to stay awake is when other people are around. That feels like the truth. But I have enjoyed, certainly recently, taking a little bit. But it's been lovely, and having that routine, I have started doing more things. Like at the end, I finish off by saying, "What are we looking forward to? Hopes and ambitions, it's over to you for this final section." And it's because, to remind ourselves that, even in these times, in these somewhat darker times, there are things that we can look forward to. And for myself, I found it becoming easier, especially over the last weekend, where I can say, yes, I'm looking forward to giving Betsy a ring to see if they're still able to talk. I'm looking forward to having a quick walk. I'm looking forward to getting up at a reasonable hour, looking forward to talking to Phoebe tomorrow. I'm looking forward to going to Lidl soon because I need to buy some toiletries. And that I've been kind of putting off and stealing bits of my housemates' toiletries. But, it's fine, but like I just can't do that all the time. Like also looking forward to things in the month ahead, like looking forward, or the weeks ahead, like looking forward to this playtest or getting this project done, or even a year ahead, looking forward to, fingers crossed, my hope and ambition. It's a hope. It's not an expectation, is the sad thing, but I really hope that UK Games Expo 2021 is able to run.
When would it be supposed to run? Would it be
June?
June, okay. Okay.
I mean, we will see.
Yep. I hope so too. I think that's encouraging to hear you saying, Bez. I have a lot of like not even wanting to hope for things like that I am experiencing, which is a bummer. Yeah. I think that the quarantine and pandemic has not been nearly as hard on me as many people, but I still lost a lot of things that were special, and have no idea, don't even want to engage with thinking about when they're going to come back or not, just because there's no reason to think a certain time is the time,
Something that SATE's really taught me is that I've had 4 really big realizations recently, and one of them is just to dream big and to like hope for something, even if we can't expect it. Whether it's like something that seems small, like expecting someone to do something that, they always leave up the toilet seat or something like that. You still hope that they're going to put it down, and it's a bit annoying. You don't expect them to. Okay, you stop expecting them to, because if you expect, then you'll be disappointed. Or you can expect them to not, but still hope that they do. And the same can be said for more grander things, whether that's hoping for someone that you love to be okay, even if they've got health issues that probably aren't going to be okay, or whether for something to come back. And I'm sorry to be a bit down, but we can
I love
hope.
the toilet
And
seat.
I guess the difference is that looking forward to, you have that certainty that it's okay, this is 99% certain, and hopes and ambitions. I really
Yeah.
recently like, yeah,
Okay.
let's go wild, but engage in either one or the other or neither. It's up to you.
I mean, something that my grandmother started doing is every morning she would now tweet a tweet that says, "This morning I am grateful for." She found herself falling, particularly when she was doing her PhD, and there's all that feedback and criticism you get by saying, "This morning I am thankful for." I mean, I did a similar thing with whenever I feel myself, my depression getting the better of me, I have a clicker. Not necessarily to train myself to the clicker, although that does probably help, like a dog treat, the click. But for me, it's a nice quick tally to say, oh, actually, there's been 20 good things that's happened today, or I've done something, like I've done something. So for me, a positive thing was doing something. And that includes, I'll be the first to admit, my hygiene's been not so great during lockdown because one of the things that I forget to do, I don't even register to do, is the basic hygiene stuff related to me being autistic. It's not an excuse, it just is. When I go out places, it kind of reminds me that I'm supposed to be presenting somewhere, and therefore I'm focused on that. So having that times when I go, no, actually, that's a task. That's a task for me. It's not everyday routine. It's a task, and I should think of it like that because it puts a positive spin on it rather than, oh, it's everyday routine. It's just neutral. But yeah, no, I like trying to think of ways to. I mean, I've always saying to my friends, write if you can, have 2 books, and negative things and a positive thing. Write down the negative thing, spend no more than a minute on it to go, can this be solvable? Is there a way I can move towards a solution for this? If the answer is no, so is it in your control? The answer is no, tear it out, destroy it, get rid of it, and eventually you'll have this empty negative book and a full positive book. So you get to look back at all the things. I mean, for a while, I took all the positive things and activities I did through a year and made a big Facebook post about it. That's too much work for me. I can't be bothered to do that now. And it's very short for 2020.
Get a BA to do it for you. Like you handwrite it and then you send it to them and they do it for you.
But having something to not necessarily to reflect back on necessarily the positive thing, but to kind of go, actually, that there was 3 bad things that happened this week versus, let's say, 5. Even if it's just that number, 5 is more than 3. For me, I quantify. I know there's a way of qualifying it, and there's something about
if I'm being honest,
quality versus quantity. But for me, that knowing that most percentage of my life, of that period of my life, is generally more positive than the small percentage. That helps me. I don't know whether it'll work for other people, but certainly for me.
I mean, if we're giving out advice randomly for mindfulness or whatever, one thing that I want to be more definite about doing is kind of, I've started when I can and when I remember, sharing things on Twitter to say, oh yeah, this is what I've done. Certainly having that in my mornings, talking about the recent highlights, and oh yeah, I talk about the games I played because I always enjoy the games, let's be honest. Even if it was a really bad game, you know, I enjoyed the discussion, I enjoyed being with people. It's very rare that I would not enjoy the activity of a game, if you know what I mean. Like, there's maybe one situation where, okay, something went wrong, and then emotions got high, and then we had to talk about it afterwards. But even once that's been talked about, we're like, okay, actually now we see each other's, okay, so we've actually learned something about each other now through that process. And I think that, yeah, it is all about bringing people together, but yeah, also celebrating those highlights. And for me, if I spend any active energy on writing down or thinking about the negative, I find that for me does more harm than good.
For some people it doesn't work.
I have to work actively to think about what was good and get into that habit. Whereas if I spend any energy at all, even if you were to say spend a minute on it, for me that would be it would bring it all rushing back. I would be thinking about it later on, and also having that it's a minute, okay. For me that would be almost torture.
Yeah, for some people it doesn't work, and for times in my life it doesn't. This kind of thing doesn't work for me. But whatever works for you, and I'm saying to you, audience, and all that, find something, because there's bound to be something that even if it works for a week, it's worked. Because it's amazing. I mean, for me, the writing thing down is more of a way of me controlling my thoughts, because I used to push down all the negative, and it's only inserted recent history of events where things from my past have surfaced that I can't. PTSD. There's no point going into it. It's not something to go. But ask me, and I'll be honest. Because I had actively, not necessarily consciously, but actively pushed those feelings and thoughts away over a certain period of my life. Now, it's more about acknowledging the negative, that I can't control everything and make it happy and perfect and 100%, and accepting it, and then going, but this is what positive. So, for example, A&A, I would consider it now a success. But if I looked at this now in a different format from when I was starting my bachelor's, I would not consider Adventurers and Artists a success, because we don't have huge amount of viewers. I admit that. I love advertising it. We don't have, because it's very niche. But what is a success about it? There are people working on it. We've been creative. It's been towards my PhD without it being forced to be part of my PhD. So I have 8.5 hours of stuff. People are happy about working with me. I've learned new skills on how to manage teams, spreadsheets. Well, not that I was obsessed with spreadsheets as a kid. So I've learned new things. Even if it fails, it's in itself. There's still lots of things I can take away from it and move forward. I've learned how to budget better for a project. We had next to nothing. We had one chunk of donation directly to the project, which started us up, and then nothing since, which is a shame. However, I've learned how to work with a teeny tiny budget. I've learned how to send emails professionally. There's all sorts of things that just because something has failed doesn't mean it's necessarily a failure. I'm not saying A&A is a failed. I'm just saying that if it had disappeared as of now, gone.
There's a lot to take on, and I think that we could.
Let's go home from
talking about this for another 2.5 hours. I think the central point is being positive. We do all have things to look forward to, and hopes and ambitions. Do we have anything more to share?
I mean, I'm looking forward to the barbecue tomorrow with some friends. My family, we looked after their little girl when they were moving, and it'll be nice to have them over, have some food, have a proper chat. We haven't properly spoken in a while, because they're not so good with communication online, neither are we. And been moving house, we've been busy with work, or couldn't because of lockdowns. So two households together.
Well,
nice.
I hope you have a wonderful time tomorrow at the barbecue, Jason. And if people want to reach out, I was going to share the link once more on the. No, wait. Okay, so basically, if people want to reach out to me, it is stuffbybez.bigcartel.com if you want to buy my stuff, which is just coming up. Stuffbybez.bigcartel.com, you can buy my stuff. Twitter.com/stuffbybez is where I tweet a lot. Instagram.com/stuffbybez is where I share the highlights of what I'm working on or things I see. Twitch.tv/stuffbybez for my streams. Facebook.com/thingsbybez is a thing, and stuffbybez@gmail.com if you wish to get in touch. And please share and spread the word. That is gorgeous.
I got it framed, and I get to see my friend next weekend to give it to her. So
that is Awesome.
That's amazing.
So it's
so much
exciting.
depth in it.
I'm excited. I got a nice mat on it. That was one tiny like actual outing that I did. I went to a frame shop to buy a mat, and so accomplishments.
Yay!
I'm excited I get to see them. Very cute. She sent me 3 thumbs up that we're on our way to see them.
How would you do 3 thumbs?
The baby thumb.
toe?
Thumbs. So
Big
3
toe?
thumbs up.
There we go.
Next time, or we're gonna come on this coming weekend. We're gonna be able to see them and actually hand it to her. So that'll be great.
I don't think I put my leg down. It's still...
People are watching this and want to check out more streams by me, it's going to be basically every Tuesday starting at 8 p.m. UK time, and every day, literally, starting at 10 a.m. UK time. Tomorrow I'm talking to Phoebe Wild and about scammers in Kickstarter, and also might answer any questions about fashion and making clothes that we didn't get to the first time around. Thursdays with Colvin Wong Saloon, talking about writing rules, and Friday is a designer chat, and you see there's a whole thing. There's only one thing left to do now, which is to say bye bye, bye bye. This is the goodbye song. Bye bye, bye bye. Thank you for watching along. Bye bye, bye bye. This is the end of the show. Bye bye, bye bye. And now it's time to be. Bye bye, bye bye. This is the goodbye song. Bye bye, bye bye. Thank you for watching along. Bye bye, bye bye. This is the end of the show. Bye bye, bye bye. And now it's time to go. Bye bye.
Bye.